there is a wife of this guy. She was in a vegetative state. The husband was having sex with his wife. They conceived. The state prosecutes him. He's guilty for rape. When you're in a vegetative state and on bed rest, there's a lot of complications with the pregnancy. Basically, the doctors decided to terminate the pregnancy.
Understandable.
And then the mother died afterwards from complications.
Bro.
Being pregnant. And
he just fumbled the whole bag.
Yeah, he went to prison, lost his wife, lost his kid.
And it was
rough
all
day to be that guy.
Rough day to be that guy.
I mean, it is. It is.
Busting his hand. Imagine, like, that's the nexus point of your life. Busting your hand or bust the nut that destroys your life.
Oh my God. That's a fucking headline.
I'm John.
Alfonso.
And I'm Darren. Welcome to the Scat Cast. We don't know either.
Sure don't.
So, do you guys believe that some lives have more values than others? Have a higher value than others?
Define value.
Yeah, what metric? How we?
Like you just genuinely think somebody's life is more valuable than another's?
Like in the Titanic sense, yeah, sure. Maybe like women and children in like the the future generational sense. But I wouldn't, like, look at some lady and look at some guy and be like, all right, just because you have a vagina or just because you have a penis, you now live and now you die. I wouldn't do that.
So, I mean, from your logic, right, usually, like, if you had, like, a crowd, right, and you had, like, let's say you had, like, three people. You had, like, a man, a woman, and a child. You know, anything else about them. How would you rank them?
Child, then man and woman.
So the child is worth 3 points?
Yeah, always worth 3 points.
But why is that? Because the child hasn't done shit.
Unlimited potential. You'd be kind of fucked if you snuffed them out now.
It's kind of like a trading card pack. The really expensive packs, you're not guaranteed a good card, but you have the possibility for a really good card. The cheaper packs, you know, it could be like...
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah, like you know it's going to be within a certain range, but you know you're not going to get anything that's like super, super good. But with those legendary packs, you have that potential. You know what I mean? From what I understand, I think it's what he's going for there.
Okay, let's say somebody develops a new healthcare technology, right? And it saves like, I don't know, not a crazy number. Maybe it saves 500,000 lives.
It's a
And
good
then,
amount.
and then you have like a child. Who are you saving on the Titanic?
Wait, what? I feel like we just jumped scenario. So what was the first one again?
It's still the Titanic scenario, but I'm saying like, you know, there's one more scene on a boat. Comes down to a 6-year-old child, male or female, I don't think it matters. But, or like this guy who's not a CEO, he just developed the technology, but he developed this like, healthcare. I'm not going to get into specifics because I don't have the brain capacity to think of one, but he comes up with some kind of technology that ends up saving
Elon
like 500,000
Musk versus
lives.
a baby. That's
no.
question.
It's not like Elon Musk level of like invention, but like, it saves like 500,000 lives.
I mean, Elon Musk made like a cool car. He didn't save 500,000 lives either.
Well, his Starlink apparently helped a lot of people in North Carolina, so that's debatable. I don't know if it's 500.
500,000 lives.
That's what I was saying.
It's not saving lives. It's like making people's life more
convenient. It was for the FEMA thing. It was more like just for helping with emergency services because they were down and shit. So like they were actually able to communicate and help people. Because I think it fucked with their cell tower, and he was able to get past their cell tower, so they could coordinate and help people.
It's a rare Elon W these days. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, for the purposes of this scenario, that is not Elon Musk. He's just some guy who saved 500,000 lives by inventing something. Right?
Which one would you give the higher point value to?
Which one would you give the seat to on that like that last safety raft?
If it's a child, put that motherfucker on this nigga's lap. Like, well,
okay. Like
exactly.
you can't do that.
There's not enough room to do that.
It'll sink. Like it goes over the weight capacity.
Yeah.
Sink.
If you bring both of them.
Yeah.
So either
then you're
the
all
child or the dude who saved. Well, he's already saved 500,000 lives. I think he'll be fine. I mean,
he'll be fine. He'll die.
Like, is he like holding on to the cure to cancer in his back pocket?
He could.
Probably not.
He could.
What if he
invents something else that saves 500,000 more lives?
Okay.
I mean, okay.
It's like, what's the answer?
The kid.
Okay.
Is there a particular reason
Is it
why?
just the age, or the potential? Like, oh, this kid could also save lives.
I just think you probably shouldn't be signing death warrants on children.
I think it's signing a death warrant.
It's quite literally saying...
You said the other day I was going to die, so
you quite literally just looked at a fucking
It's not signing a death warrant.
You literally decided that child's life...
Did.
Yeah, you're signing the child's death warrant, so I'm not doing that.
I didn't know, because you could have also just not saved either of them. You didn't sign a death warrant.
You could just kill 2 people instead of 1. That doesn't really make a difference.
Signing a death warrant.
It is signing it. You actively
You
chose to let someone
save somebody,
die.
and you just chose no one.
So if it was 2 kids, are you signing the death warrant on another kid?
Of one of the other children, yes, you are.
Where are you
this is
signing?
like the train problem.
Why
but,
is it
like,
signing a
messier.
death warrant?
Because you're actively saying, "Hey, buddy, life sucks."
But you're not actively. You're choosing someone else.
Yes, to
Okay,
the other
that's-
person.
Okay, that's debatable. But saying I won't take either of them and that's not a death warrant is like kind of crazy to me.
Well, I'm saying like,
You
if
still
you weren't
chose to
there,
save somebody.
because I mean, if you weren't even there, then they both would have died. It's not signing a death warrant. They shouldn't have been on the boat. They signed their own death warrant. What do you mean? You're not signing a death warrant by saving someone's life. What the fuck is that?
By letting someone die.
By saving someone's life.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
what the fuck?
I'm saying if you choose not
I
to,
can't believe you killed this baby. I
If you-
didn't kill
if
a
you
baby. I
choose
just
to-
saved someone else.
if you choose to leave them both on the boat, that is killing both of them because you could have saved one of them.
But that's what I meant was basically like there could have been no one there.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
signing a death warrant. Regardless, at least one person was dying there.
Yeah,
It's not signing a death warrant.
uh,
I mean, like I said, it's not.
I don't know. It's just a trolley problem, but messier.
Yeah. I mean, same thing. The trolley problem. Like, I don't think it's killing a child to just not pull the train tracks. That's the equivalent there. Like, I mean, if you're just not pulling any train tracks or anything like that, I mean, is that really not? You know what I mean? That's not really like doing
I
anything.
mean, like,
wrong.
with the train trolley problem, you're either like you're choosing to kill somebody or not to, and by not to, you're also choosing to kill somebody because you could have, but you didn't. You know,
Yeah.
so one of those conundrums.
I mean, I guess is the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, like, as long as you're saving someone, you're saving someone. I don't think there's like a higher value necessarily.
Yeah, but he's
on them.
arguing you're signing someone else's death warrant to save that life.
I disagree. I think you saved a life. Who gives a fuck? I mean,
You saved a life, but you also, I mean,
like, who's gonna get mad at me for that? I just saved someone's life. Fuck you. Like, imagine going on the news.
maybe they knew the opposite person.
Who cares? Imagine someone going on the news like, this man saved this person and not this person. Like, fuck you. I just saved a person. The fuck did I do wrong? It's like getting mad at someone for running into a burning building and saving one person's life instead of like fucking 3. Like, damn, I did what the fuck I could. What the hell's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
So this leads into my actual ethical dilemma that isn't just a trolley problem.
Okay.
So, in my ethics class, we had a bioethics professor from GTCom, and also he's also an ethicist at Wellstar. I don't even know what the fuck a clinical ethicist was, but they literally are like given cases that are like ethical dilemmas in themselves, and they solve them for people. They're like lawyers, but like they're like direct consults for ethical dilemmas.
Yeah.
Like probably most of it is like organ transplant or like
That's a cool job.
should we take this person off of life support kind of
I
shit.
didn't know that was
right?
a thing. That's cool.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I originally thought that was like a lawyer's job, but I guess they would have an actual consult from like a professional
Because I
in
mean,
that
a
field
lawyer
first.
would specifically be with the law. I don't think that one's like a legal
Or whoever
thing. It's just
fired
like
them, but yeah.
it's just like a decision thing there.
I mean, hospitals have lawyers, so I mean,
Yeah, of course.
like there are lawyers who argue on behalf of like certain treatments.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, that makes
yeah. It
sense.
was like this guy's specific job to like come to conclusions about things like that and like make decisions for people. You know, like the best outcome morally.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, which is like really weird for like because like healthcare is a business. Like businesses don't usually have that where they have a person whose job it is to think about morals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because like usually like the stereotype is like this person has morals, kick him out of the fucking board meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 But he listed us like several real life scenarios that he may have worked on, may have not. He doesn't like reveal like HIPAA information.
Yeah.
Some of them like he admits when he has worked on some. Others he just like read about, studied about. But
Yeah.
this first one, so he said it was in a western state. I'm gonna assume it's California because he got really angry when people said California.
Okay.
But basically there is a 14-year-old girl who was getting a tonsillectomy, which is just removing their tonsils.
Yeah.
And she didn't consent to it. Her parents were making her get her tonsils removed. Which I mean is like whatever. It's a harmless procedure. If anything, it probably benefits you and like it prevents bad breath, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she didn't want to get the procedure in the first place. But that wasn't the dilemma. It wasn't like the 14-year-old's right to choose. Later it is. But anyway, she gets the tonsils taken out. She's in like in the hospital like recovering, and then the mom is like, oh, she's bleeding from her mouth, and then the nurse is like, oh, that's normal. Like like you had sutures back there. It's gonna bleed. You just like apply. It'll go away with time.
Yeah.
It'll clot essentially. An hour later, it's like still isn't clotted. It's like it's still pretty common for that to be the case. 30 minutes later, She's she's hemodynamically unstable because she kept bleeding, but the blood was going down her esophagus, so nobody ever saw like the extent to which she was bleeding.
Yeah.
And she was rushed to ICU and then put on life support, essentially. However, her brain was deprived of oxygen because there was no blood, right? It all went into her stomach, pulled in the stomach. So blood wasn't actually circulating through the veins and arteries, so it wasn't getting perfused through tissue and, more importantly, the brain.
Yeah.
So, hour or two pass, she is basically brain dead. She's declared brain dead. Like they have no brain activity because the brain was so deprived of oxygen, right? This is from like a simple
Tonsillectomy. Yeah.
Right? The parents are like, no, there's no way. It's just a tonsil procedure. She can't be dead. You know what I mean? They're like kind of coping.
Yeah.
And then it's been weeks. She's in the ICU and like life support, quote unquote. Like they're just keeping the body alive, but the brain is still dead.
Yeah.
Like they measure brain activity and it's all dark. Like there's zero activity. Like she's actually brain dead, which is like the criteria
of death
for being death. And the parents fight it. They're like, no, we don't believe she's dead. There's like her body's still running. Like look, she twitches when she hears her name, and that's actually a reflex we have.
Is that not tied to your brain?
Yes, but it's a reflex. It's not like cognition. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, because if you're cognizant enough to like have a reflex to something like that, I feel like you'd be like.
I mean, have you heard of bodies standing up in the morgue?
No. What
It's
the fuck?
a reflex.
Bodies stand up in the morgue?
Yes, like you'll have bodies that you just like have the drape over them. They're laying flat and they just.
Oh no!
I would freak the fuck out.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but it's a real thing that happens. It's because there's a reflex in the spinal cord that triggers and it makes their back spring up and they sit upright.
What the fuck?
So 5 minutes of
It's just electrical like
get a little cord.
a reflex like that is just like just dormant electrical activity that just impulse like it got rid of itself and then it shot up into the nerves, into the spinal cord, and something happened.
Jesus,
like that's essentially what happened with her, right?
Yeah.
But their parents are like, no, look, she's moving, she's still alive, and then like they're like fighting it, and they're like, it's been like a month,
Yeah.
at this point, and the hospital is like, this is like kind of they don't want to say it, but it's a waste of resources. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the parents, like, I forgot what the actual like professional wording of it was, but they were like, look, oh no, it wasn't even a month. It was like 2 weeks later. She didn't have any food. They didn't put a peg tube through, so they weren't even feeding her.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after that, after like it would have been like a week after, they were like, yeah, we're pretty certain she's never gonna come back from this. And when you're brain dead, very rarely will you move to the next stage, which is a vegetative state. Because then in a vegetative state, you have some brain activity.
Yep.
You're just not like conscious, right? From a vegetative state, like you also don't skip steps. She's not going to skip from brain dead to
Just
consciousness.
being like fucking awake.
Exactly. Yeah. So it usually like you don't usually ever recover from brain death. It's happened before, but they weren't actually brain dead then, right?
Yeah.
So it goes from like vegetative state to minimal consciousness, which is like there but not there kind of thing. Like you're barely able to call yourself a person kind of thing. And then you go from minimally conscious to conscious, right? And that's like how it goes.
Yeah.
When you're in that kind of situation.
That makes sense.
But yeah, there was no chance she was even going to, like, the parents were convinced she was in a vegetative state after being explained to them that there was like no brain activity in their daughter, like, at all. Like,
They're
she's
also not medical professionals. It's not their job.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Know that, so
That's,
yeah.
Anyway, they're like, we need to feed our daughter or else she will die. And they're like, she's already dead. But she's like, like the body will die.
Yeah.
And then the hospital basically argues it's a waste of resources. And then the parents are like, okay, we'll pay for it. Is it a waste of resources if they're paying for it?
Yeah.
Right. So they raise a GoFundMe and they basically have this whole like internet thing where it's like, oh, the hospital is killing our baby. We need money to keep her alive because the hospital isn't doing it unless we give them the money first, kind of thing. So then the GoFundMe raises like $200,000, right?
Yeah.
Like it explodes on the news kind of thing. I couldn't pinpoint which exact story he was telling, which is like kind of crazy that this has happened that many times.
Yeah, I've heard of something similar to this
Yeah.
before.
But they get the money, they pay for the peg tube is inserted because the family can pay for it, right? Month has passed, the hospital just wants to get rid of them, and I don't know, the hospital was essentially like gonna kick them out, and there's nothing they could do about that. So they go online, they reach out to other hospitals that would be willing to take their daughter in. Not really many people are willing, except for a state in the East Coast, which he accidentally mentioned was New York.
Okay.
So they fly her across the country to New York. They pay for a fucking flight, which is insane, by the way.
How do you even fly a
across the
corpse?
country? It has to go on a plane, but it's super fucking expensive to do. So I forgot what the exact term is called, but
They
flying.
just like throw them on with the luggage.
Well, not only that, just flying a medical patient like themselves to a different state is like so fucking costly.
Dude, that
This is
guilt-
across the entire country.
That guilt's eating them alive, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just, oh.
So then they're in the hospital in New York, but this is the crazy thing. The family could have gotten a felony from this, because if you didn't know, it's illegal to carry a body across state lines, and they just carry them across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A lot.
A couple of state lines. Thankfully, no district attorney, nobody ever prosecuted them for this. That would have sucked to be like.
Yeah.
But
A body is in corpse, or a body is in
like a dead body.
So they would have counted her as dead.
Like with your whatever the state's definition of dead is, which technically is kind of crazy because California hasn't legally considered them dead yet.
I feel like they'd probably be able to dispute that
Then,
in
yeah,
court
they're
if they
not-
think they're alive. I mean,
Yeah.
they'd probably be able to get around that.
The thing is, they go to New York, and then after like a day or two in New York, or like a week or two in New York, right? The hospital just basically keeping the life support on, and the family's there doing all the stuff. The family even gets an apartment while they're there. Like they're staying there, taking care of their daughter. It's kind of like how much fucking I don't know. It's crazy, but
yeah.
I mean,
That just shows you the money.
I don't
in the
doubt
world.
parents like don't love their kids. You know what I mean?
Can't
But like
save your
that
kid.
must be so draining.
What's
But
the dilemma specifically with this one?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
There's a couple. I mean, first of all, it's the death thing, but there's a couple of dilemmas in this. It gets fucking wild. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, what the fuck? So, yeah. So a week-ish later, the state of California officially declares them dead, and there are certain legal statuses that once one state recognizes it, the other 49 have to. Like marriage is
Yeah.
recognized. Like, it's by the state, but every state will recognize your marriage. You know what I mean? Death is also one of those. If a state declares somebody dead, they're dead across the nation. It's called repository.
I've no
I
idea.
think that's the word. Repository. It's when something legal is carried over from one state to all of them.
Yep.
Like universally, essentially. What do you think the problem is with them considering their daughter legally dead? If it's just in California, and the hospital's still willing to take care of a dead body.
Well, I mean, they shouldn't be taking care of a dead body. Like, what do you
Like,
mean?
what do you think the problem is for like the family?
Well, they don't think she's dead.
No, I mean like, what obstacle do they now run into now that their daughter is legally dead?
Well, they have to bury her in New York now.
They don't have to. The hospital's still taking care of it.
I mean, they have to find some way to get the body back over there without crossing state lines with a dead body, apparently.
I mean, if you're given like permission to, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, then it's fine. But basically, once they got to New York, the family got Medicaid from New York,
Uh-huh.
which is state funded insurance. Medical insurance doesn't work if you're considered dead, so they couldn't get any of the money. So they had to fight that. Yeah, how did that end up? I think they did drop the dead thing. Like they removed the dead. I think they won that court thing somehow because
So they got them to declare them alive again?
Yes.
They got to
What?
walk
Yeah,
that shit
yeah.
back. Basically, they're saying as
So-
long as there's a pulse, you can't say she's dead, fucker.
Basically, the family cashes out and they buy the life support systems from the hospital. And
What?
yes, they buy their own like.
Who the fuck
Apartment.
is this?
I don't know. This is
What the
crazy.
fuck?
No, the more I'm listening, the more I'm just like.
Maybe they got more money from GoFundMe. I don't know, but
I feel so sorry for them because I can
Yeah,
only
they-
imagine like making the decision that kills your child.
they
Just-
buy this life support equipment.
Forcing your child.
They buy this life support equipment, move into a home. I think this is still in New York. I don't think they moved back. I don't even think they ever moved back until what happens. But the daughter's still on life support, and the parents just take care of her like all of her needs, just bedridden. You know what I mean? For 4 more years.
I was gonna say, because trials and shit take a long ass time. So in order for them to go through and actually declare her alive, a lot of time has passed.
Yeah, but 4 years the family's taking care of her now.
Is this their only child? Do they not have like responsibilities?
I think it was their only child.
Okay, I was gonna say, do they
Yeah,
not have anything else to
but-
do with their life?
I'm gonna pause the story.
Okay.
What do you guys think about the family keeping their daughter alive?
I get it, but don't do that. It's weird.
Look, I've said like this. My dad was clinically denounced as brain dead, but he bounced back more than they ever expected him to. So I can understand having that hope, and I understand the human body is amazing. You really want, especially when it's your child, you want to believe that they can overcome anything. So I can't say like, oh my God, why would they just puppeteer a corpse around? It's like they honestly had no idea and they had faith, and like it would be almost rude to say they're wrong for trusting or believing that they could help their child.
You know what's crazy? New York has legally. They could have disputed the death by saying, because California and New York both support this. Legally, they could have disputed the legalization of her death by saying, in our religion, death doesn't happen when you're brain dead. And that would have actually held up in court if they said that.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know, like...
But what they said was, we just don't believe she's dead. Like, they stated the reflexes, and for some reason that passed in the court. They didn't listen to the medical people on the other side. But if they did say... religiously, we don't believe she's dead for X, Y, and Z. It would have that's gonna
would have passed.
It would have passed, and it did regardless. But it's surprising that they didn't do that and it still passed. But anyway, not at one point did the family ever claim this was for like a religious reason.
Yeah,
which usually is the case. You know,
for me, it's just like 4, 5, 6 years, however the fuck long it was. That's a lot of time and a lot of opportunities to go through the stages of grief.
It was 4 years.
This one's 4 years like after the trial. Right?
Yeah, so
no, 4 years after the accident.
Oh, okay.
So from 14 to 18, basically. So you kind of gave her...
Well, I was going to get to that.
Regardless, like I said, that's a long time to go through the actual grieving process and everything. Like, you're kind of robbing yourself of that by just like...
It's your only child, and you did kind of sign their death warrant in a sense. So... You know,
it's just like not taking responsibility, I guess. I don't know.
I think they did take a lot of responsibility. They literally tried they gave their child.
To be fair, it was just a tonsillectomy.
Exactly. They gave their child every.
It was just a weird, bizarre
every
complication.
Fighting chance. Those parents fought for their child.
You probably shouldn't have forced them to get one either, though.
Well, I mean, you can also argue it was just a tonsillectomy. Like, what nobody would ever imagine this would happen.
Yeah, it's like getting a tooth pulled, and somehow that tooth getting pulled just drains all the blood from their body. It's like, well, who the fuck saw that happening? You know. The parents had no way, shape. All they were doing. Same thing when your parents make you get a fucking flu shot or some shit. It's like they're not thinking, oh, that's gonna kill you. It's just like, you know what? That's something you probably need to better yourself. There is no malicious. Like there was. You could say it's unnecessary, but at the same time, it wasn't like it was, harmful to do it.
I mean, clearly it was.
Clearly.
I mean.
Dr. Butterfingers.
But like if somebody came up to you and was bitching
child.
about how their parents made them get a tonsillectomy, you'd be like, okay, sorry, I guess. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I honestly think that if they needed those 4 years to like for me, I would say like this because I know my mom and I know the love of some parents. It's not even like you're holding on to a corpse. It's like that genuine belief that like what just happened to put you in this situation is like unreal, and it's almost like a test of faith. It's like, okay, some random shit just took my child from me, so some random shit's gonna bring them back, and you just gotta like what else? You as a parent, you're just gonna say, yeah, I just let my child die. I just gave up on them.
Remember on the podcast when you were like, we were talking about achieving our goals,
yeah,
and then you said just work towards it and it will happen. It's kind of the same mindset they have, don't you think?
Is it?
They gave them every chance.
They're not really working towards anything. They were just kind of throwing.
They were just waiting for a miracle. They were like, as long as we wait, it will happen. That's what they were thinking.
They took care of her. They fought for her. They went to court for their daughter. Like they did everything in their fucking like power to try to right the wrong they made. Not just for themselves, not for their conscience, but for their actual child. They're like, yo, we put you in this situation. We're gonna give you everything we can to see if you can get out of it.
Would you think it's sane if she didn't have a pulse?
If she doesn't have a pulse, she's dead.
She does have a pulse.
What's what I'm saying? If she didn't have a pulse, would you think there's still...
No, they're parading around a corpse, but she had a pulse.
Well, actually,
she was already a corpse.
I hate to spoil the end of the story, but eventually the organs do give out and the pulse stops, and that's when they finally...
Oh, yeah, if she dies, she dies.
It is literally when the pulse stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once she's dead, she's dead, but until that point, you don't fucking know. Like, I just brought up my own father as an example. Like, doctors don't know shit sometimes.
How long was your dad brain dead for?
He stopped breathing for up to 30 minutes. He was, like, you lose a
This is 4 years.
She wasn't not breathing for 4 years. She was just in that state for 4 years.
She was brain dead for 4 years.
Yeah, she was brain dead. My dad was only brain dead.
Was she breathing?
Well, your dad does. It doesn't sound like your dad was brain dead. He was in a vegetative state.
No, he was brain dead, and like the doctors clearly said, yeah, he should not be able to talk. He should not have any activity.
I think they meant vegetative state because brain death is a whole different criteria. Like I was trying to explain before with like the 4
Yeah. So what's the full criteria?
Like the guy who was given the lecture, he even said like, yeah, I mean, people say people come back from brain death, but really it was just misdiagnosed vegetative state. Because hypothetically, you should not come back from brain death. So your dad, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to like.
No, I get it. But
regardless,
even then,
he wasn't brain dead.
Even then, like, so like,
you're just trying to convey he came back from a sort of similar situation, and you understand why they're holding out hope.
30 minutes versus 4 years. That is a huge difference. That is not really the same.
They said 30 seconds, 30 minutes.
It was
30 minutes.
It was minutes.
That is crazy. He should have been brain dead. Oh, okay.
That's why I'm like, shit happens. I'm being so dead. Like, just shit.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, 30 minutes. Yeah, I can give you that. 4 years.
4 years of her being in that state. Yeah, you give them.
She's just gonna wake up like, oh shit, that's not gonna happen.
You give them that chance. Like there's, you can't just say that's not gonna happen. You don't fucking know.
No, it's like you said.
I do know. I heard the end of the story.
It's like you said. If you manifest it will happen.
That's not what I was talking about.
You know, okay, you're saying this.
I wasn't talking about resurrecting someone. I wasn't talking about the rebirth of Jesus Christ, dude. What do you mean?
It's like knowing the full knowledge that she died after. But if he would have ended the story, yeah, she also just ended up waking up. You're like, damn, I'm glad they waited. You don't fucking know.
It wouldn't have happened.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You know that now.
You know that now that I spoiled it. I probably shouldn't have done
Regardless, okay, if you ask me in the very beginning, oh, do you think she's going to survive this? No. You know why? She's brain dead for 4 years. It's common sense. I mean, would you have assumed she comes back from this?
I would have waited till the story finished.
Would you have assumed she makes it back from this?
I wouldn't assume shit.
If he asks you, does she survive this or does she not survive this? Would you assume she lives or not?
the odds are stacked against her, but I'd have been like, well, how did this end actually? Well, I'm not disagreeing that the
exact way you would think. It is the exact same way you would think.
I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. But
yeah, I mean, just in general. I mean, I don't know.
No.
Okay, so something did strike me that you said. When I asked you what's wrong with this, you said it's weird. Like that's like the first thing you said.
It is.
What does that mean?
It's weird. You're parading around a corpse.
Okay.
Across state lines.
So we're gonna go to our second ethical dilemma now.
Someone who's labeled dead in this is crazy.
So there is a psychological study. I can't name the exact. I don't know. Like I don't remember specifics like that. But essentially, there is a psychological study done on conditioning. Right. What was the study about? They went around and randomly sampled like 500 people, 50% boys, 50% women, right? Or men and women, right? Like these are like mature people. They asked them, do you think it should be legal to sleep with your sibling?
What?
Like incest? Or
like incest.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's not my answer.
90% of people, or like 95% of people were like, no.
Yeah.
And then they were like, why? And they said, well, I mean, the genetic abnormalities.
It's weird.
The genetic abnormalities, right?
Yeah.
And then the researchers then follow up with, what if they don't conceive? Should it still be illegal? And then should still be illegal. Yeah, that's what 90% of people, like went down like 5%.
Yeah.
90% of people were like, yeah, it should still be illegal. And then they're like, why? Like, because it's weird.
Yeah. Because
that was literally their exact explanation. Like, it was weird.
Sometimes that is the answer. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes shit's just weird.
But do you think you're conditioned to think it's weird?
I was going to say it kind of has to be at that point because you keep going further back. We didn't really give a fuck about incest until very recently in like the human... Like kings and queens were just fucking like their children.
Yeah, but they were weird.
They also like had wealth, power, and influence. And so at the time people didn't consider that weird. They're like, damn, they just got it like that.
Peasants probably thought they were weird. They couldn't afford to have incest. They had to be healthy. Those motherfuckers were working the fields.
I want to say they were like mad. Or it's like it was more just like, damn.
But they cut off their heads. They did not fuck with them.
That's one
part of the
group.
reasons why is the incest.
That's one group. That's one isolated. Also, they really sucked politically.
Actually.
But no, I'm not defending it. So I'm just saying like there is optics, especially in the like 21st century, that shit is weird and gross. But like back then, it was more of like
there's optics.
The optics of like
I think that's a funny phrase.
Yeah,
so
the modern era.
If it was.
If I'm saying like this,
if incest was like the
1500s, you were saying, "Hey, it's fucking your cousin or fucking your sister weird." They'd be like, I mean, it's not for thee. I mean, it's not for me, but if it's for thee, then you know, whatever, I guess.
So if incest was like the cool hip new thing, now, Like say like
we're back. Are we back?
yeah. So like let's say this, right? Let's say like the next generation, right?
Nah,
They grow
that's
up and just
crazy.
incest is just like cool. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Are you gonna be the fucking old man yelling at a cloud, being like, "No, this shit's weird"? Or are you gonna be like,
You heathens!
"That's what I'm saying"? Are you gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's weird"? You're like, nah. I mean, people are doing it, so like, fuck it. Is that what you're gonna do?
you're saying, well, I like change my moral.
I feel like there's
It's
something
this-
inherent about not wanting to fuck your sister.
Well, that's what I learned. I didn't learn it in college, but in like high school and some like biology class, I think our teacher did say that there is literal genetic coding telling you not to fuck your
Yes.
relatives.
Be-
Like for some reason you just know.
the reason why it's there is for those genetic abnormalities or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
But it's coded into you to not do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in your brain to know not to do it.
I'll say it to you like this. I forgot. Like it was still like in the 18. It was like I think it was like World War One. World War One in Germany.
They were fucking their sisters.
They were still doing. It was frowned upon, but they wouldn't like. You could sue a motherfucker, but like they wouldn't kill you or do anything severe. Like this one, because it was a murder
They don't
case.
kill you here either.
Wait, they'd sue you for having sex with your sister?
for fucking your daughter. It was a father.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah, he fucked his daughter. And like he was sexually assaulting her. It was abusive and all. But they were just like, hey.
Well, I don't even think there should be any dispute about that. I think your child, yeah,
Well,
that should be
it's
illegal.
incestual and you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people are like, yeah, this nigga's weird, but he's
Maybe if your
rich.
kid is grown, it should still be illegal.
Yeah. But also like it was that there wasn't like
Wait, so
any-
sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off. Incest is more acceptable if it's a brother and sister than a dad and daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think it's unacceptable, but I would say
more so.
Yeah, I mean, I would be more
one is
disgusted by
spawn
someone.
camping and one is
Like why?
you
Is
kinda-
it just the power dynamic?
it's the spawn camping. There's no way in hell I'm gonna like fuck something
It's
I
spawn
made.
camping if you wait 18 years.
Don't
did it.
say that.
I mean, that's just as true.
Dog,
he
it's literally
did
the
it.
definition of grooming. That is the
did it.
definition of grooming.
Like, at least
Maybe
in
it is
the
spawn
Germany
camping.
case.
That shit's
I
not
retract
even
that.
just grooming. You planted the seed. You harvested the
spawn
plant.
camped.
You groomed the flower. You did everything.
Redacted. Sorry.
You gardened
Redacted.
your own. You fucking picked. You harvested your own crop.
Yes, I'm wrong.
Motherfucker
I'm
literally
wrong.
reaped what he sowed. God damn.
Reaped or never mind.
Never mind, it is spawn camping.
Yeah, because like if you at least if you're both starting from like the default of 0, I can understand like, hey, you're going through puberty, maybe you just made a bad decision, but like no, there's no way in hell I could fuck my wife and then look at the things she made like.
Well, I mean, if you love your wife so much.
No.
Well, I mean, in this scenario, the wife could very well be their own sister too. So I mean, It's Alabama.
I just did not like that
anyway,
sentence.
I was watching this episode of House MD.
Oh
And
God.
what was going on? Basically, this couple comes down with like first it's the girlfriend that presents with like these bizarre symptoms they can't pinpoint. Then the boyfriend comes down with the exact same symptoms, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's contagious. It must be an STD or like something."
Yeah.
Test him. STD negative. All of these contagious diseases negative. It comes down to a genetic disorder. Like House basically had a hunch because the boyfriend accused Dr. Foreman, the black doctor, of being racist because he didn't like seeing a black guy with a white girl. And then he said that her dad was the same. Like he basically compared Foreman to her dad. He was like, "Oh, you just don't like seeing colored people mix with, you know, you're like they're like the opposite side, but you know,
Yeah.
two sides of the same coin." Essentially, what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
And then Foreman was like, "So her dad didn't like that you were dating her." It's like, "Yes, we were neighbors. He threatened to shoot me when I was like in his house. He threatened to like beat me up and shit." Oh no. It was his dad. He was like, "My dad beat me because I was dating the white girl next to us." Right. Or really she looked she was mixed, but she looked more white. Anyway, I think I spoiled it. But Foreman brings this up to House, and House is like, "Hold on. What did you say about the dad?" And then Foreman is like, "He was a racist. You would love him." And then House is like, "Okay, but you said he beat the crap out of the son for dating the daughter next door, right? Dating the girl next door."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yes." He was like, "Run a DNA test on both of them." The dad beat the fuck out of the son, not because he was racist, but because he had an affair with the neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was his daughter that
Yeah.
he was dating. but he just didn't want to like admit it. And then they have to break the news to the couple that they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
And then like the boyfriend still loves her, but the girlfriend is like absolutely fucking disgusted. Like
realistically, yeah.
I don't know.
I can be mad. I look, if I realize I've been banging my sister, like
yes,
I'm gonna feel like awful, but I'm gonna be like, you know what? We could be just family, or we could just not talk to each other ever again, whichever one works for you, because this is weird.
Well, he was like, I still loved you before I found out you were my sister, and I still love you afterward. It was like, or half sister, is what he was saying. But then she's like, it's weird. You're my brother. And he's like, but like we had this whole like 7-year relationship with us. You know what I mean?
You're still family, nigga. Just stop fucking.
Darren, you and your girlfriend are the same race.
What the fuck? Where did that come from?
What would you do?
Darren on this one.
What would you do?
What?
What would you do if you found out?
We were the same race?
No.
Oh, the same
dog. I'm just
okay. Boyfriend. I'm sorry, brother and sister.
I'm saying it's harder for me to believe because my girlfriend's a different race. So
okay. That was a bizarre way to say that.
Yeah, that was I was so with Darren mentally. I was like, okay, sure.
I was like, so what? Both of your parents are white.
What would you do?
I don't know. I feel like I would not be attracted to her anymore if I found out she was my sister. But I feel like I'd be with Alfonso where I'm like, oh, you're still an important person to me. I mean, like, hey, sis, you know? But
what if you found out after you were married?
Oh, dude.
I'm being like, yo, sis, can you sign that prenup, big dog?
We were never telling anybody.
That too.
Yeah.
It's a prenup.
But you'd still continue being married.
Yep.
What if you found out she was pregnant?
Oh no!
Ah, shit!
That's not happening. Not anymore. I'm looking like, look, I don't care what ethics are. We're not about to doom this child to. I'm not.
Oh my god!
I mean, they do screen. Like, assuming she goes into like her monthly checkups, they do screen the baby for genetic abnormalities. Like, what if none show up? Is that okay?
It could just be dormant because you both have like a fucking recessive fucking.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because their kid could be fucked up then.
Yeah. All you're doing is
that's their problem to worry about.
She has a genetic issue that makes her head explode the day she turns 5.
Yeah, some shit, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just heard about tonsillitis fucking capping a kid. Like, I don't know what the fuck is about to happen. There's no way I'm about to give this, like, motherfucker a worse set of odds. That's why we need genetic variability. Like, damn, bro.
So, okay. I think we've talked all about incest we can. I'm going to move on to our...
Is it all we can?
Yes. Anything else we want to add?
No, he doesn't.
Let's circle back around to this later.
No, he does not.
Our third case study, right? Our third ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
Similar situation to the first, oddly enough.
Jesus Christ. I mean, okay, first
oddly enough, similar situation to the first.
I hope it's like the first and second combined.
There is a wife of this guy who was a nurse who, in DC, and she was bedridden. She was in a vegetative state. She wasn't brain dead. She was in a vegetative state. Mm-hmm. She had a caregiver that would come every week, check up on them. But the husband, for the most part, like after work, before work, all that, he would come check on her, take care of her, whatever she needed, while the caregiver did it during the day. One day, like it's been like 8 years she's been in a vegetative state, right? One day the caregiver comes in and finds out she's pregnant.
Nah, I'm crashing the fuck out. If it wasn't me, I'm crashing the fuck out on everybody. Who the fuck?
The husband denied it. He was like, this wasn't me. And then he was like, somebody raped my wife. And then it's crazy he said this. He was like, somebody raped my wife. Police do an investigation. A few days pass. This is like the 5th time they brought the husband in for an interrogation. He admits it was me. The husband was having sex with his wife while she was in a vegetative state. They conceived.
You can
on accident.
You can conceive?
Well, the body still works. Yeah.
Like, she's not dead.
That's a biomechanical feature.
I don't know why. I thought you meant like she had a child. Like she had like fucking
pregnant.
birth.
She's pregnant.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought you were saying like she had fucking birth while she was in a coma.
That has also happened.
I know that's happened, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's happened in not a nursing. I guess it is a nursing home, but for like younger adults, that has happened, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually did hear about that on the news, and the dude got arrested because they did a DNA test for all the employees. But that's fucked up. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is different.
These are all a little fucked up.
This is different because it's husband and wife, right? The police are like, dude, you raped your wife.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I mean, it's still fucked up regardless.
He has the testimony of, no, we had sex all the time when 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's still rape.
He was like, I believe she would have consented.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still rape.
You can't fax and consent when she's knocked out, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care how down bad and horny you are. You can't just be like, well, it's not like, it's a corpse. And it's not like it's a stranger. I'm just about to... Like, no, bro. Just bust one in your hand, man. Like, just...
Do a Shinji Ikari.
Either bust one in your hand, or if you're really that down bad, find a hooker or some shit. Like, don't do
Well, I mean,
that.
he would have had sex with his wife.
I mean, his wife was in a coma. He could have bought like a fucking body pillow or a sex toy. It would have been the exact same experience.
Literally.
Damn.
I mean,
What the fuck?
He could have gotten like a can of beans, put them in a plastic bag, warmed them up, and stuffed them inside of a glove.
because I mean, regardless, she's just laying there anyways. Like,
For real, he did the start. Literally, I think he just treated his wife like a pocket pussy, which is even crazier.
Yeah. So, the state prosecutes him, and he's guilty for rape. Goes to prison.
Wow, go figure.
Yeah. Nobody bought that testimony.
But we're married.
Yeah. He did say that. He was like, but we're married. That's not an excuse to rape your wife. And he was like, but she would have wanted it. Like, okay. Okay, guilty.
Bro.
Imagine saying that about literally anyone else. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, it's not beating the allegations with this.
If she was awake, she would have wanted it.
Anyway,
That's awful.
when you are in a vegetative state, I don't know how this happened in the nursing home where she just gave birth. Because I don't know how that went undetected.
Do your muscles
such a
just
long
naturally
time?
your muscles,
They do.
You probably, yeah.
They do. When in labor. But our lecturer, our guest speaker, told us that that when you're in a vegetative state and on bed rest, there's a lot of complications with the pregnancy. I guess it's a miracle that other lady gave birth in the nursing home.
Yeah.
But basically, the doctors decided to terminate the pregnancy.
Understandable.
Yeah. And then the mother died afterwards from complications of
Bro.
being pregnant. And
Bro,
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
fumbled the whole bag.
yeah, he went to prison, lost his wife, lost his kid.
And it was
Rough
all
day to be
his
that guy.
fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough day to be that guy.
I mean, it is. It is.
Like, and literally, all he had to do was just bust in his
Fuck
hand.
that guy.
Imagine, like, that's the nexus point of your life. Bust in your hand or bust the nut that destroys your life.
Oh my god. That's a fucking headline.
Dude.
What the fuck?
That's gonna be in the sizzle reel.
Yo, I don't know. Like, what was he thinking? What was the appeal in this?
He
Nut.
was thinking my wife would think this is okay, so I'm gonna do it. That's literally what he was thinking. Like,
That's just not rational. Like, I'm guessing the 8 years made him super horny.
There's a
and lonely.
rationalization behind it, so it is rational.
I'll say it like this: like, yeah, you can always understand somebody. You want to always understand it, but like, dude, I've never been that horny. I don't know what that is, so I'm really trying to give him some like not leeway, but like.
He's had 8 years of sitting there festering on that shit too.
Yeah, he was.
He's because this wasn't the first time he's thought about that. He contemplated that shit for like weeks or months before.
No,
he
it had
actually
been
did
within like the last couple of years. The first like 3 or 4 years, he's probably slaw as well. Like, I love my wife, not gonna fuck anybody.
He was sitting there. He was like, I know this is a little fucked up. I'm gonna try other things first. He tried like fucking like astral projecting himself into her like coma dream, like fucking like doing other stuff to try to like meet her. He tried like. I don't know. He tried the bean trick.
He tried
and he just
jacking off in a sensory deprivation room to be like part of her
He
world.
tried the bean trick and he was like, "This just isn't the same."
Yeah.
She was pinto. I can't use the fucking baked beans. It doesn't work. Like,
What is this bush? Ugh.
She's been telling. That's hilarious.
But I just, yeah, dude. Like I don't think that.
you know what? Surprisingly, this actually was like a combination of the first two stories.
So, this brings us to our fourth ethical dilemma. It's the same as the last one, but gender flipped.
Huh?
So, there is a 18-year-old male, right, who is also in a vegetative state.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. He's brain dead. I think he was brain dead.
Oh, so GG.
Brain dead or vegetative? I think it was a vegetative state. He was on life support.
Let's just assume he's brain dead.
Okay, I'm
for
gonna
the sake of the
assume it's vegetative state, right?
Yeah.
Vegetative state. His parents are taking care of him, right? And then the kid's 18, right? Like, the bodily autonomy is his, but in cases of like life emergencies, it goes to the family to make decisions for them, right?
Yeah.
So the family had a bizarre request. They were like, "Can we have his semen and put it in a bank?"
Was that like in his will or some shit? Like,
No,
why did
they just wanted
They said basically verbatim. They were like, "He's always wanted to have kids."
Was that legal?
Well,
It
putting your
hasn't-
sperm in a bank
It didn't
isn't
happen before this,
illegal.
so nobody knew how to navigate around it. It was an ethical dilemma. So
Yeah, the answer is no.
why is it no?
Don't jack off the dude in a coma. I mean, I don't think it's that complicated.
What if they just took a needle and took it straight from the source?
Yeah, so they just stuck a ball and just.
There's no sexual assault.
Regardless, don't you have to consent to that?
Well, I mean, he's in a coma. It goes on
It
to the
goes
family.
to the family, and also this is the family saying he wanted to have kids. So I'm
The
pretty
thing is,
sure
like,
that kind of.
I'm sure he wanted to
Our-
have kids that he could raise.
the thing is, like,
I don't think he just wanted to know he had kids running around somewhere. He's not like fucking Genghis Khan or some shit.
when somebody is in a coma or a vegetative state or something like that, if they wanted to keep their reproductive rights confidential, it is protected by the law. So the family can still have that information withheld from them. So if that's the case, should they make decisions? Should a family be able to make reproductive rights decisions on somebody in a coma?
So like, if my daughter got raped, dude beat her into a coma. Now she's pregnant. I get to decide whether she has the baby or not, and that's based off of my religious background, belief, and my perspective on the situation, not necessarily what she would have wanted.
Well, let's take religion out of it. Like, this guy said he's always wanted to have kids. He can't, but the parents want to fulfill that wish. Should they have the right to his semen?
No.
Why?
Why should they?
In a special case by case,
I kind of just want to hear your answer. So.
I said,
Well, I'm just curious. Is there a possible reason why they should be allowed to have a semen?
It's just his wish.
yeah, if it, and it,
To
if,
fulfill his wish.
like
Says the people who want a semen? Fucking weirdos, get away from me. What do you mean? The fucking semen monster's here and wants to collect his semen.
Well, no,
Great.
the semen's there so they can give it to a donor who can have his kid.
As a parent.
Like, it's not. It's like,
As a parent.
the child is gonna raise up, like, with a mother, because like, how sperm donation works. It's essentially that.
Yeah.
Like, is that right?
No.
Why?
Why not do it to everyone then?
I mean,
this is a special
if it's
case
written in
by
like,
case
someone's
thing,
will,
yeah.
can they do it?
I mean, sure, if it's in their will, it's not in his will.
I mean,
They're
it's
just
more of a
taking their
verbal-
parents' word. What if their parents are just fucking weird?
I mean, that's
Does it not sound like a little innocent to you though that they just want to have his offspring in the world?
yeah.
No,
No.
not really. Because I mean, if he's saying he wants to have kids, he's saying he wants to be a dad.
That's what people in my class were arguing.
He's not. When he says
Exactly.
that, they're fucking
Yeah.
completely
That was,
misinterpreting
that
what
was
he's
the main
saying.
argument we used against him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why even as like a parent, like why is that your first thought? Like, oh my god, he always wanted to be kids, jerk him off. Like what the fuck is that? No, what the hell? I don't know, because like that's what I'm saying. If you do that realistically, why would you not just do it to everyone? You know what I mean?
If it's written in someone's will, do you think they should?
Again, if it's written in their will, then yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's their will. It's a proven thing that like yeah, they wrote this. If it's not in their will, then if
Well, I don't think anybody's arguing it for just like doing it willy nilly just because. But this is
Yeah.
like specifically a family's request. If another family, a second family, requested the exact same thing, if there's two families that want it now, does it make it more okay if two families want to do it?
who's the other family?
Just randomly.
Similar situation.
Oh, I thought you were saying like a second family wanted his sperm.
No. It's a
Competing
hypothetical.
for that shit like Hunger Games.
Like, no, we also want him to donate his sperm. Like, I promise.
We want him to donate his sperm to our daughter in a
Who's
vegetative
in a
state.
Oh no. Okay. Realistically, right? Let's say you were in a coma, right? You found out that your parents did that to you.
So I told my parents
come
I
back?
wanted to have kids, and they're like, "Hey,
Because basically he was not coming back from that vegetative state, right? They were going to
Well,
pull the
apparently
plug.
some people think they
Yeah.
can make it back from being brain
Well,
dead.
this wasn't
so
them.
I'm-
So if he's not coming back, is it okay for them to raise his kid?
They want to raise the kid?
Maybe they did.
Or
I
they can
forgot,
find. You
but
can find.
they
Women,
wanted his offspring. in the
Donate
world.
the sperm to the mom? What the
no,
fuck?
I didn't even think about
No,
it
you
because
can
what they
adopt
could
it,
do,
but-
what they could have done, like I forgot that's a thing. Aren't they called like midwives or surrogates? Like Michael Jackson had one.
Okay, midwives are different.
No,
They-
not midwife. What's the thing? Michael Jackson, because he couldn't have kids because he was chemically castrated. He had someone else have his kids for him.
Why would they want to raise his kids? Just have another kid.
No, like they could have gotten his sperm, found a
I
lady
think they
who
did want to raise his kid.
they got
That's
his
fucking weird. What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah. So they could have gotten his sperm and then like had a lady, whatever, like, just host the baby. Then they could have just raised their own grandson or whatever. And I'd have been like, okay, that's it's something.
You see the innocence in that, right?
Yeah,
Like it's an innocent wish.
yeah. As long but if they're freaky and if they're coming in like with fucking crotchless fucking pants and shit, and like they're looking like. Just stick it in and just pull out his essence and no, we're not doing that shit. But if it looks like just like a sad farmer family was like, all our son ever wanted was to look his son in the eye.
What if they take that sperm and make a little fucking homunculus out of it or something? I don't know. Or are they trying to clone him? Like,
I mean, that's kind of what getting his sperm is.
Let's say you're hit by like a semi truck tomorrow, right?
yeah.
You're not coming back from this, and your mom's
No,
like,
don't take my sperm. That's my answer. No,
So
don't take my sperm.
if your mom got your sperm
Yeah.
and then had your grandchild in the world, right? Would you not feel like endeared in a way?
Dog, if I woke up and found out I had
you're
a
not making up, though.
child,
You're dying. Like
I'm just saying,
your
if-
parents left a piece of you in the world with them. Is that
if-
not like a little adorable?
if I woke up and found out I had a kid that they
but
created,
you're not waking up. Like, would you?
if it's
if
Gigi's
beyond the grave, I'm up in fucking heaven, I'm looking down, and I found out that they created a kid without my consent. No, it's not endearing. It's fucking weird. What do you mean? That's not normal.
I don't know. Me and Alfonso see the charm in it.
I can get this. Maybe I'm a big soft, but I can get the sentiment of like some things like you don't automatically flag as like, okay, you guys are freaks. It's more of like
I'm not even saying
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're a freak. I'm just saying it's weird.
yeah.
If somebody had it in the
Why
will,
is that your
If
wish?
somebody had it in their will, though, you said it's okay.
Again, yeah, if
Okay.
it's their actual wish and you could prove that was what they wanted to do, then sure. But if it's just their parents walking in like, put it in the jar. Like, what the fuck do you mean? What the fuck is that?
Okay. So we're gonna go back to the first situation,
Yeah.
which is oddly familiar to this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
While raising the vegetative or brain dead girl
Yeah.
for 4 years, but taking care of her for 4 years,
They take her
they-
eggs.
they report that she started her period while they were like throughout the 4 years.
That's
like, at some point.
biomechanical, no?
It's weird because like it's hormonal changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, it was never documented by an actual professional that yes, she was having menses, like she was having periods, right? It was just word of mouth. They were saying that their daughter was having periods, which means ovaries are working.
She's alive. Yeah.
It's a hormone thing, stimulated by
Does
your
your
brain
brain?
stem. Your brain stem controls that.
But aren't you on a clock? Because 14 is usually like the later end of puberty, so it kind of makes sense that the clock would have just started ticking regardless. No.
So the body's being kept alive, right? Mm-hmm. So this was a question he posed to us. 4 years have passed. How old is she?
18.
18.
It was 14.
But she was legally declared dead at 14.
Yep.
She's been dead since 14.
Well,
She's
didn't they
still
roll
14.
that shit back?
But you believe she was dead, like, half an
said-
hour ago.
I
Or
said,
at least you did.
yeah, I was
I
it.
mean, she's 18 still.
So,
she is dead, but she's 18.
okay, so
How can you be dead and still age though?
that's what I'm about to say.
Look at the corpse.
When
I don't know.
when your grandma when your grandma passes away at like the age of 96, 4 years pass. Happy 100th birthday, grandma.
I mean, some people
Doesn't
do that.
really make sense. Yeah.
Some people celebrate birthdays after someone dies.
Okay.
Oh, they celebrating the birthday? Birthday, more of just like, is it like
Their
a
age.
Day of the Dead? It's like,
Like,
yeah.
do you think your grandma's 100 years old?
No, she's fucking died at 96.
Yeah, exactly. You don't say my grandma's 100 years old.
Yeah, you don't say she's because she's not. She's 96 with an extra 4 years of dirt and bones. Yeah.
The difference is one of them's being kept on life support. And one's
One of
not.
them's actually still
But you said she
doing
was dead
the
anyway.
biological
dead.
processes of being alive.
So how is she still 18? If a dead
She
person
is
can't
dead.
age, then how is she aging?
I didn't say a dead person can't age. I'm just saying she's
Okay.
dead.
Okay. I thought that was your that's our consensus at least.
Because there's a difference between being dead and on life support and dead in the ground. Those are two different things. You're still dead. Except
think-
one is dead with biological processes, but it doesn't make them any less dead. They're still dead.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're still dead.
So how can one age?
Because they still have biological processes.
I don't know. Death to me means devoid of all life. You can't still be having life function on you and be counted as
I mean,
dead.
I like to compare people to machines. It's just leaving a empty machine like running. Like, is that life?
Is the machine still taking power?
I mean, just because you have like a single cell of someone who's still alive doesn't really mean anything to me. You can have a woman who died, but if you have your eggs frozen, that doesn't mean she's still alive just because you have some of her cells alive.
Yeah, that's not a cell. It's a whole fucking body, though.
So it's still the only cells that are alive.
Wait, so I'm confused. You guys are both arguing like against your own points. Like, do you think she's dead or not?
I don't think so. So like, if the 14-year-old girl, the 14-18, she's not dead till the heartbeat stop beating, and then she starts decaying and shit.
So you don't believe death starts at brain death?
I mean,
Okay.
dead when there's a fucking.
So you think everyone who's in a coma at brain death should be kept alive?
No, I think you can choose whether you want to if you want to hope that they come back, or just ethically let them die, and then that's your choice. But
What's the problem though? They already died.
I think
You're just gonna hog up the hospitals with a bunch of people who are brain dead.
No,
Just
never said
because?
that. I just said you're free to choose, but you should have that right to choose between either giving them that chance or letting them go. It's your call.
So what if you had to go to the hospital for some reason, and you go to the hospital and like, oh yeah, no, all the rooms are filled up with brain dead people. Sorry.
Go to a different hospital, but then that kind of sucks.
You go to the hospital, they're all filled with brain dead people. Sorry,
Dude, if you're shot, you can't say bring me to a different hospital.
Well, also, I highly doubt that there would ever be a scenario like John's.
Well, in this scenario, if
describing.
everyone's doing the same thing they did, then yeah.
Okay, but then another scenario, what if they just don't? I don't like scenarios like that where it's like it has to be like because that's just not common in the first place.
Well, he's saying
Well,
like, what
exactly.
if you
Their
make this
reaction's
common?
not normal. That's my point. If it was normal, that would happen all the time.
normal.
That proves it's not a normal reaction.
Normal is in like what, just holding a body
For 4 years, yeah.
Well, then they also because
Exactly. Imagine if everyone did that.
If everyone paid for it, who gives a shit? If you're gonna
Again,
take the
that's
equipment,
space in the hospital.
well, no, because then they take the equipment out and whatever.
Yeah, it's in the
so yeah.
apartment.
Hey, if you're out of the hospital, I don't give a fuck what you do with the body at that point. If you want to try to keep them
Again,
alive,
yeah, it's still weird. But I'm saying
Yeah,
if they're
no.
in the hospital.
yeah, I'll say it like this: don't inconvenience other lives. Like people are more. I'd like you said the same thing earlier.
Because
with
they kept trying to fund it at the hospital and keep them at
yeah,
the
so I'll
hospital
go back.
for years.
So here's I'll amend that statement with the
It was
first
months.
statement. When you said like the whole thing with like how you value lives in that sense, okay, yeah, she's closer to death's door than the dude who just got shot. So yeah, let's prioritize the dude who got shot. But on the same note, yeah, if you want to fucking spend
Is she
as much,
closer to death's door? Because she's not the one bleeding out.
well, the dude who got shot is probably more.
He's gonna bleed out and die in
yeah.
like
If
3
you
hours.
actively get to him first, he can probably live longer. Because in her case, you're basically gambling on that she just comes back. His case is like, yeah, if you just wait, he doesn't come back, period, point blank. But he's still, here. And so I guess when it comes to the whole...
So would you say that he has more value probably because he's alive?
Probably because you can get him back to in society quicker than the one who's in a fucking coma or the comatose state or vegetative state.
But I mean, according to you, if you have faith, she'll come back.
Yeah, you got faith to come back, but you also got to pay for that bitch. Like
Yeah, no, they're paying, though.
Basically, I'm saying like this. If you want to pay for that and take him out of the hospital, go for it. Don't give a fuck. But I don't think that like with the whole thing, if it was just a common practice.
Well, I mean, regardless, if you're paying for it, someone has to do it. Hospital workers and stuff are understaffed. So you're paying some kind of a doctor to go there and watch them. That's someone that could be watching someone else.
There's
It's still also a room taken up by someone who can need it.
Yep.
no, I'm saying not.
It's a waste of space. It's a
I'm
waste
not
of time.
talking
It's a
about
waste
the
of
person in the
energy. It's a waste of
hospital.
money. It's a waste of everything.
I'm not talking about the person in the hospital. I'm talking about like the prioritization of who needs treatment, whatever. So if the hospital's packed to shit, dude got shot, and then it's my 14-year-old daughter in the hospital, vegetative state, whatever the fuck. If I did not take her out of the hospital and pay for it on my own dime, and now it's her and the dude competing for a space, the dude's like, it's like, okay, he can take that spot. But in the same note, it's like, okay.
So if you got the entire family sitting there begging you, please don't take her off life support. Please
don't take her off life support.
Don't do it. She's going to come back. Please.
We have to take the save for the guy that we know we can save.
How do you know you can save him? What do you can't?
It's the
How you know you can
same
save
point regardless. It's the same idea. Okay. So why even? So hold on. I'm trying to make sure I
That's
understand.
my point. Is you shouldn't. You're in the fucking body. Is my point.
Wait, no. So what was your point from the beginning? Because my point now is like, look, you're saving the guy
Because you're saying one dying person is more valuable than another dying person. The person's already dead. That's my
That's
point.
what I was saying.
That's why you're saying it, because the person's already dead. You're admitting they're already dead.
They're closer to death's door, and I was like, are they?
the person in the car.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the dude's bleeding out.
Yeah.
You can save that guy,
Yeah, okay,
right?
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying,
you can
yeah.
actively save that guy. You're kind of just
But
taking a
according to you, you
gamble
can
on
save this girl too.
You're taking a large. There's a return on investment. There's a bigger gamble with the comatose person, the guy who's bleeding out. I was like, yeah,
Exactly. Sunk cost fallacy. You already given all the money to her. You might as well keep going. Otherwise, you wasted all that money.
No, that's exactly why it's the second cost fallacy. Because no, you're supposed to let go.
In that situation.
Exactly, you should let go.
In that situation.
You should have let go 4 years ago.
No, in that situation, but like.
Ain't no situation. She's dead. Her situation
When
ended a long
given
time ago.
different choices, yeah, you choose.
Dog, she's been looking down from
When
heaven
you
for
choose the
years.
two different
She's like,
ones.
Mom, Dad, what the fuck are you doing? You should have moved on. She has a new boyfriend up in heaven now. She's chilling. She's waiting on her parents to fucking come up there and meet her.
Sure, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. She's waiting on her parents to come up there and meet her at this point. I mean, I don't know. I don't think... What I'm saying, I mean, if the person is not dead in your eyes, then why would they have any less value than the person who just got shot, who's already dying? If they're both dying, they're both dying.
I just said it's it's the same thing of like choosing the child over the fucking CEO guy. It's like, okay, well.
Yeah, she's under 18. He's a grown-ass man.
Uh-huh.
If she's a child, you should have saved her according to your logic.
No.
She has a higher value.
My logic was who can actually
I didn't even
be
think about
helped
everything,
in
right?
that immediate. I'm more of like, how to say this? I'll say it like this: whoever can be helped in the immediate. I'm more of like what's the term? Proactiveness. I feel like you could help the dude who got shot in a more proactive sense than just keeping the
So
person.
you're gonna screw over the person you already agreed to help out years ago? You've been helping out this person for a long time. You promised his family you're
Yeah,
gonna
if we
save this
need
person's
space
life.
for hospital beds and we're running out of room, then yeah, you would have to
So you're
choose
just
at
gonna
a
say,
certain.
fuck this family you already promised to
You have
save
to
their
choose at
daughter?
a certain point. Yeah,
That's literally what the California hospital is.
you have
That's
to
why they
choose
had
at a certain point. Like, we can't keep doing this.
That's what I'm saying. They should have done that.
That's what I'm saying. There's a certain point. That's all I'm saying. My argument is there's a certain point where, yeah, you have to be like rational, not nice. Be like, hey, look, this guy just got his fucking arm blasted off. We could probably do something about this. She's been.
So you agree that the whole keeping a 4-year-old body around is irrational?
Yeah, if you can't support it, then don't do it.
Well, I just mean in general, is it a rational thing to do?
Irrational? I'm saying, hey.
I still wouldn't argue it's irrational because there's
I would
still a
say
rationale
there's
behind
a
it.
certain level of like belief and disbelief. In the belief and disbelief, I mean is like the belief and disbelief is like, look, 4 years we've tried, nothing's happened. At a certain point, as someone on the outside, I get you to love your daughter, but we can't keep doing this.
So what if it's only been 2 years?
Still,
And what's the cutoff for you?
Still, we can't keep doing.
What if this person's been in a coma for like 3 weeks? What's the cutoff?
Ooh, 3 weeks? That's actually a really good question. I feel
You see
like
what I'm
that's
saying?
way too
Like,
fresh.
what's the cutoff
It's
here?
kind of standard. I don't know.
Why
like,
is 3 weeks
it's
any
actually-
less valuable than? Why is 3 weeks coma any less valuable than someone who's been in a coma for 2 months or 3 years?
This is for that same reason. Like if you don't know, you just don't know. Like also like
If
this.
they've been brain dead for 3 weeks, they've been brain dead for 3 weeks or dead.
Brain dead for 3 weeks is brain dead for brain dead or is it vegetative state? So let's make sure.
Brain
Well,
dead.
this is back to the brain
First,
dead girl.
first,
the exact
one,
first girl.
First
Yeah,
one,
she's
brain dead for 3 weeks. Okay, so if there's no activity, there's no sort of
Like the doctors pronounced her dead 3 weeks ago.
so
That's what brain death means.
No, so why did they roll it back again? That's what I'm like. So what was
No, it's different. Legally, the state of California considered them dead. The doctors declared death. Like declaring death and being legally dead are like
Two different things.
what really?
Yeah.
It's just like a status.
I mean, yeah, it's like it has to be finalized in the legal process, unlike actual government documents that someone's dead.
So
it's like tax
so I could
reasons
be
and shit.
so I could be
I mean, it's
dead,
like the
but
doctors. They said your dad. He didn't become legally dead the moment they said
so
he was dead.
I could be dead, but not legally dead.
Yeah.
For a moment in time.
Yeah. So the doctors never changed their minds. They still always had her as dead. It's just in the eyes of the law, she was technically alive.
Okay.
Thing is, the parents were fighting it so hard, like the state wasn't going to declare her. I don't know, but
Yeah, they probably just didn't want
Okay.
to fight it.
Okay.
They're probably annoyed with how many times they went to the courthouse.
Okay. Got you.
So they want to take the daughter's eggs.
They wanted to, or they?
Yes, they wanted to.
Oh, fuck no.
They wanted to have their kids.
Why would they do that? She
and
went to a
then
coma at the age of 14. Fuck
They
no.
were like, well, actually, she's 18, so you can't make decisions like that
Yeah.
based on this state. And then the parents were like, she's 14,
Yeah. No, she's not. She's 18.
but
That's interesting.
Because according to you, if she's alive,
Yeah,
she
so
should
like
have aged
if her body is
regardless.
she went through
exactly,
puberty.
they're contradicting themselves.
Yeah,
now.
so her body was because like
But I also think she would still age if she's in a coma. So I mean,
I was yeah,
but she's
so,
not in a coma; she's brain dead.
but her
if
was her
you're
body
brain dead,
still
you
aging?
still grow.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, you have hormones enough to have a period.
Yeah, so she's still
but the
aging.
thing is, the periods weren't objective; they were subjective. The parents, objective means that it's recorded and it's like done by a professional.
Well, I mean, regardless,
so it's
subject-
word of mouth that she had a period.
Subjective is word of mouth. Yes.
Ooh. Okay. I actually don't know that then.
Regardless, I don't see any reason why someone brain dead couldn't still grow.
I thought the exact same thing. That's why I raised my hand and I asked him. I asked the guest speaker, the lecturer. I was like, "Did the body grow at all?" And he said he didn't know. Like, there was nobody actually going in the house and checking on her like that.
So once they took her out of the hospital,
So it's up in the air if she grew or not. If there actually was a period or not.
Regardless, I feel like she would have. But even then, that doesn't make her any less dead. She's still dead.
Also, I'll go back to the point. I do think at a certain point there is a line for like, not a line for a parent, but there's a certain level of like preservation of your family that I feel like that's just what, like, you had, like, as a parent, you had a child to like have a legacy. So I can kind of see the almost like the idea of like losing that investment. I don't know if I would like take out my eggs or suck out my son's sperm, but like I could see that.
But at this point, it's kind of clear they're making up shit to get what they want because they're saying she's 14 now.
That is,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is like a new development. Because at first I was like, yeah, I could see like just like, even if you don't want to say she's dead, I can understand just trying to like just do your best by sit by her side. She's 14 years old
and we want this for our daughter. Even though she's, if she was still alive, she'd be 18.
So they just kind of Karened out on the system, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, they found a loophole.
Did they let them take the eggs?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Good. And then, like they said, shortly after that, the organs failed and they couldn't get the eggs anyway because she died. Like, the body died.
Yeah. That is weird with them.
Yeah, good. They don't deserve those eggs. They're weird. So they get for being weird. See, they knew it was weird the whole time, and they kept fucking doing it.
I'll say something.
I knew it was weird.
It is something cathartic about them. Like, at first, everyone could like sympathize. Like, yeah, they just, they wanted just to let it. Almost like how you don't put your dog down, you just kind of let the dog die on his own time. Like, I could almost understand like just spending all this money just to like let whatever happens just happens. You know what I mean? If she dies, she dies. If she comes back, she does. She's
Would
good.
you keep a dog in a coma though?
Not necessarily a coma, but it's
usually you
your
put down a
daughter.
dog to end suffering.
Well, yeah,
regardless, if you're in a coma, you're not conscious. Like, what's the point in dragging out someone who's not even conscious?
I'm saying I can understand the emotions of it, and it's like
I understand wanting to keep your kid around, but at the same time, you're just robbing yourself of the grieving process, and you're just wasting time, energy,
well, I would
space,
say some people
effort.
grieve differently though, so it's hard to say like you're robbed. Sometimes you just need like to like just see it and be reminded like this is it.
No, I don't think anyone moves on that way.
I would disagree, but I'm saying like I'll say I disagree in the sense not to be a contrarian, but to say like I would never want to speak for how someone.
I've never heard of someone who's trying to get over an ex and they're like, oh yeah, just go see them every single day, go stare at them.
No, I think an ex versus like a like getting over
the stages of grief is moving past something.
I would say that's different. I mean, we could agree to disagree. I think that's different. I would hold those different. I would hold that differently. I would say personally.
What are the stages of grief in a relationship? It's the same stages of grief.
It is.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have. What's the?
The thing is, the stages of grief aren't like a set thing. Yeah. Like some people skip stages. Some people have them out of order. Some people jump from.
I guess more of my
the first to last stage.
Regardless, your brain processes.
Regardless, there's still stages.
Yeah, right. Your brain processes both the same.
They're supposed to be applicable to loss in general. So I mean,
I get that. More of what I'm saying is like I don't know if I would personally say I would grade a relationship versus the like loss of a child the same.
They're both things that you weigh as like one of the most important things in your life, though. You like your life just changed forever. It's like, I don't know, you found out your wife cheated on you. You're going to go through the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you found out your parent died,
they're supposed to be, they're literally designed to be like a general application to just.
Yeah, that's what it's like. It's feel like losing a child. I feel like such like as a parent, that's not like general.
I mean,
that's
obviously
like,
the emotions are different, but the
I don't think
stages
any therapist would recommend sitting there and leaving your dead baby in the corner of the room to stare at every morning when you wake up either. I don't think any therapist would be like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's what normal people do. Stare at a baby. Your dead baby in the corner. Got like fucking bloat flies flying around your room and shit. It stinks.
Our clinical ethicist, like the guy giving the speech, he said that he knew a guy who worked on this case that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And worked on many other cases. And he's like infamous in the clinical ethicist world.
It's crazy that that's even a world.
I know, right? He's stationed out of Washington State, Seattle. And he jumps on every single case dealing with brain death. And he argues they're not dead because he personally doesn't believe in brain death and he does whatever he can to argue out of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't believe in brain.
He doesn't believe
The
in brain
body's
death.
alive. The body's alive. They'll
Yeah.
find a way. Okay.
Because brain death was actually conceived by organ donation committees.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
They just wanted to take that shit for themselves. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
That does make sense.
So it's a little.
But still, other people agreed with it. Like,
No, of course, yeah,
so
you
many
can
other
get
medical
consensus, yeah,
professionals
you
were
can
like,
get
"This is
this.
a good definition of death," so they stuck with it.
Yeah.
But originally, it was developed by organ donation committees.
To get that shit
Yeah.
quicker for them, yeah, that makes sense. So I could definitely see like where you're almost taking the not conspiracy theory route, but more of like the general, like I don't put it like air quotes humane, but like more of like, hey, look, if there's a pulse, let that shit play out. Simple as that. And that is that. I'm not trying to like pick up that guy's. Is that kind of his stance though? Kind of like if there's a pulse.
He didn't really go into too much depth of what his like backstory was, but I don't know.
I mean,
it's still like in like area of contention today. Like,
Gotcha.
just
Yeah.
what to do in
exactly.
that
I can see
situation.
that. Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, just in general, like philosophically and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go through like the whole like I think therefore I am and all that shit. I mean, regardless of whether or not your body's alive, you're not like conscious. Like you're not alive if you're not conscious.
You're not am.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, like there's literally no point. I don't know. Like if there's no thoughts whatsoever in the head, like it's just a clump of cells and organs and all that stuff. It's literally all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an organism, but it's not alive. If that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's probably like the best way to loop it all in.
Do you think viruses are alive?
I do. I mean, we've talked about this before. I
Yeah.
think they are. I think it's like a very dumb loophole. Just like all this stuff is alive.
Do you
but
think there are different definitions for life?
There's
then?
different definitions
because you
of
define
life.
life as having a consciousness. A virus does not have a consciousness. Neither does a bacteria. Neither does I don't know.
Like a single cell organism for the most part, besides responding to stimuli and just surviving.
People argue fucking ants don't have consciousness. I mean,
they do?
different degree of consciousness.
I mean,
You know, there's
it's
actually a
really hard to call
mathematical
hive mind consciousness.
There's actually a mathematical equation to like calculate something's consciousness.
Like math, people. It's
Yeah.
always fucking math, bro. It's doing the most like version shit possible. Okay, what's the equation? Like, do you like know?
I don't know what off the no. Of course I don't. It's really fucking weird.
Love plus
It has letters I've
think
never even-
good equals life.
No, it has like letters I've never ever seen in my life and what I've never seen anywhere else. It's crazy.
These motherfuckers just pull out some cryptic Cthulhu
exactly.
language.
They
just
made
said,
up random
"Fuck it."
fucking variables for this equation. It's a thought experiment. I swear I saw it in a thought experiment video, and then this guy brought up
why they're
how there was
virgins.
an equation for how cognizant something is, and he was basically kind of the same question I'm asking you, where it's like, are there different tiers of life? Like, what is the definition of life? Because if life is consciousness, then you believe in this equation, and there has to be a certain criteria met for this specific numerical value for something to be consciousness. If it falls below that, it's not conscious.
Tell me you have
You're not
social
living.
anxiety without telling me you have social anxiety.
Sorry, I sound crazy right now, but like,
No,
it's
that's
interesting. That's just interesting to me. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
No,
Because
I
you
mean-
defined like that as not being am, therefore they're not living, therefore they're just an organism. But like,
If let me put it like this: if a human does not do that, then yes, I would say that's the
Okay.
case. I never thought about it, but I think yes, I think you're right. I think there are different like tiers to being alive. I guess. Like if you are a human and you don't meet this criteria, you're not alive. If you're
I guess
like,
you're trying to say, yeah,
if you're a jellyfish and you don't meet this criteria, you're not alive. You know, like shit like that.
yeah.
I think it's probably.
But if a human meets the same criteria as a jellyfish, it's not. They're not alive.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
dude, if you're a human and you're a jellyfish, like
You're in a coma. You're just existing.
you are fucked. Oh my god.
But you live forever.
I guess.
It's not bad.
In the sense of your genome never withers, because that's what they do. They basically clone themselves.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
I can handle me.
It's kind of weird that a fucking ethicist is like even a job.
Right? That's what I was trying to say earlier. It's
Yeah.
like, what kind of fucking company hires an ethical person?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it makes sense in healthcare, I guess, but
I was
like,
saying healthcare
probably should have
specifically.
one.
Yeah, I would say anything that was like health or human services, it kind of makes us have an ethical person because I forget what the statement. Okay, remember back to the whole thing I was talking about, like it's okay to break rules. There was something to that where it's like you shouldn't break rules, but rules are not rigid. Like that's why there's a judge. A judge decides, okay,
that's not what you said.
I said something. That's how you know.
No, you said following rules only hurts rules.
Yeah, I was saying that in like a flamethrower, but like more of
Those are two different things.
Yeah, look, I know I don't always communicate my shit the best. Like how Hannah said, you have somebody to let me cook. This is a callback.
I let you cook. That was 40 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
ago. Yeah.
And like I finally have this like
cooked over,
long
like, 30
oven
episodes.
roasted
Okay.
beef. Like exactly. This was stewing in the pot for a long
This
time.
is how those parents thought about that daughter. They thought they were gonna come out of that coma fucking cooked.
Just let her cook.
Yeah. Look, anyway, the broth has been stewed. The meat is now ready. Basically, it's like judges are there to interpret the law and say if like it's still applicable, and that's kind of where I was going with that all the way back then. I just wasn't communicating that properly. It's the same thing. It's like it's an interpretation, and like it's that's what ethics is. You have to interpret it in like not only in a contemporary sense, but in like a holistic sense. Like, okay, we as a society hold these things to be true. We as human beings hold these values to be crucial to us, and like what do we perceive as like our children, our loved ones, shit like that. And also legally, you know, you can't fuck your brain dead wife. That's just not, you know what I mean? Like there's, and
It's
that's
probably not good ethics.
yeah,
Probably not.
probably not good. And that's why
probably not good ethics.
probably not.
It's not good practice.
Hmm.
Is there another job that you think is like, I don't know, weird in that same branch? I
Ethical?
guess?
You mean like like works with ethics?
Not even specifically ethics. Just like this, just kind of like surprising that it exists. I guess when I say like weird in that same branch, I had one I thought of the other day.
What is it?
I found out about chicken sexers.
Oh, people who do like
breeders?
animal breeding?
No, sexers.
The fuck is that?
They look at baby chickens and they tell you what their sex is
Oh, okay.
because you can't. There's no way to tell the difference between a male and a female chick at all.
Oh, same thing with eels. You can't tell an eel's gender either, because fucking Sigmund Freud did that. He could have figured it out.
So you know what they do?
What?
They guess.
I'm paying a nigga to guess on a fucking.
But that's the thing, though. They have a very high likelihood of being right because they've done it so many times. They figured out, like, intuition-wise, how to look at that thing. Like, yeah,
There's
that's
a
a guy.
sniffing the
Clearly,
chicken.
there is a difference. They're just holding
No.
on to the secret.
Yeah,
No, there's,
I would.
they'll
They're
tell
holding
you.
on to
I
the
would
secret. They're
monopolize that
bullshitting.
shit.
They're bullshitting. That's a fucking scam.
You could probably just smell the female and smell the male. It's probably some hormone sniff. Like it just smells like
know
sawdust or some shit.
They know the differences, and they're not telling people.
No,
Yeah.
they're just guessing.
There's no way.
I'm
You just tell.
monopolizing this. I'm
What is
taking
their
that-
success rate?
It's above 50. I don't know.
Okay.
If it's at
I don't
least
know the exact
75, they're cheating, and
Yes,
they're just.
yes.
I don't know the
they're,
number.
they're holding some shit.
It is enough to hire people to do it for a living.
That's
They're
probably
holding-
80.
they're
That's
holding on
probably-
to some shit.
There's some
There's
trade
no way.
secrets. Yeah,
I don't
some
think they are.
trade-
I think they just know.
Nah.
How?
No,
You have to know based off of something.
Senses.
his feathers
They
are a
were
little
born
smooth.
with fucking chicken sense.
Okay, look, you got the sense of touch, smell, taste, but you can't forget chicken sex.
Don't
That
forget
is-
about balance.
Yeah, forget that one. Chicken sex. That's a sixth sense.
That's the one that works with balance.
Six
'cause-
sense is balance. Seven sense is chicken sense.
You're right. My fault. We have 7 senses.
Yeah,
I think I could do it.
No.
think you do it?
They're all girls, or they're all chicken
They're
nuggets.
all girls?
They're all chicken nuggets.
They're all
That's-
chicken nuggets to me. That's so based. That's so based.
That's what a dog sees.
So speaking of chickens, you'll ever hear like the metaphor, you gotta like break some eggs to make an omelet kind of thing?
Yeah.
You said the chicken crossed the road.
So this is my last ethical dilemma. It has nothing to do with the others. It's kind of on its own. I didn't know where to put it in that sequence.
Yeah, I'd eat an omelet.
Omelets are good. I like omelets. I made a French omelet like 4 weeks. Like I folded it like it was like the
Omelets are
perfect omelet.
fucking immaculate. I love
Like they're just
omelets.
aesthetically pleasing when you do it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, some people when they have stroke, or most of the time it's a stroke, they become contracted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
can't uncontract. Like they just
Yeah, they tense
constantly
up.
contract.
And
You guys know about that?
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So, how do you resuscitate that person?
I don't know.
What do you mean resuscitate? Like
How do you get to their chest if their arms are over their chest?
break his arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Break his fucking arms. Yeah,
So
That's
this was
fair.
like one of the first cases he's ever worked on in his job, right? There was a contracted patient, and there was an ethical dilemma. It's like the family wants him to be full code, which means they want to resuscitate him if he goes under, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way the staff can do that is if they break his arms and legs because he's like in the fetal position,
Yeah.
right? They would have to break his arms and legs just to bring him back to life. But staff is arguing we don't want to do that. That's wrong.
To harm him, to help him.
Yes, they
Was
were
that,
like,
Well, boo-hoo. It's your job.
It's like when you give someone a shot and they cry, you're not harming them. Did you not just shove a needle into their body? A foreign piece of metal?
There's definitely a difference between a little
when you have to amputate some diabetic's foot to save their life.
It's still the difference between like
life and death.
Yeah,
I agree. It's just I don't know.
Like I mean,
I can see why it bothered some people.
I mean, breaking some dude's arms and legs to save him is pretty traumatic for that poor nurse who just is their second day on the job.
I agree.
They have like the emergency baseball bat.
Exactly. Like I agree that they should do it, but I also see why it's weird.
I mean, I know it's weird, but you can't refuse to do it. It's your fucking job.
I know.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with like CPR. It's like, I don't want to break his ribs.
I'm like, I kind of see their point though. Where like they have to break this poor guy's arms, like the screams.
Okay, so
because I mean, like I get it. He's gonna fucking have like physical therapy for like 2 years or some shit after that. At that point, to be honest, but like,
dude, the nurse that breaks my arms and be like,
he's getting physical therapy regardless because he's contracted, and they have to meet certain criteria with PTs.
There's a very big difference between that, like actually doing it from all of your limbs being shattered.
Well, he was contracted. Now he's contracted and has broken limbs. It's
that's so what I'm saying. Like regardless, it's
like they're arguing you're worsening his quality of life further. Like more so.
So
are you? Because I mean, it's going to suck for like 2 years. But after that, it'll probably be good.
He's still contracted.
It's like you'll heal.
So okay, if they save him, will he still be him?
Yeah.
Then do it.
He'll be miserable for 2 years while he's recovering.
Yeah.
If that's what everyone agreed to beforehand, just like
his family agreed to it because he was not mentally cognizant enough to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, regardless, do you really think? I mean, I don't know how old the guy was. You think he'd really want to go like?
You'd rather just let me die. He'd rather just
die than have a sucky couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's not mentally there anyway. You could argue he's. Some people would consider that a vegetable.
So, like,
is he a vegetable?
I don't know. They didn't get too specific about it. They didn't get not pre-stroke, but like they didn't get specific about it.
Could he go back into society after this, or was he like stuck with his parents forever?
I don't know. Maybe they're holding out hope. Maybe not. Maybe he is slowly recovering, like really slowly. But like, usually they don't. If they're like that, I don't know. It's literally just the argument of like his life's already shitty. You're gonna make it worse. You know what I mean?
I mean, everyone's like my life is shitty right now.
But he's like I said, some people would consider him a vegetable.
Okay.
Right? Like at that point, it's like, yeah, what's the point of breaking this guy's arms?
So was he cognizant or no?
No. Like I'm saying, he wasn't.
So I mean, as a nurse, that's a win-win then, because he's not going to get mad at you, and you just got to break a guy's limbs.
But he still has the reflexes to pain and shit. He still screams and like feels pain.
Oh, I mean, yeah. It's going to be kind of horrifying.
He just can't like have a conversation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he's like the physicians deemed him not mentally apt enough to make his own decisions.
Would he even be able to like learn
like
how to walk again?
That's also being done against his like will, for all you know. Like, but what if he never agreed to that? He has no say. Like these are people just signing his fucking breaking limbs warrant. Like like literally.
I think when you go to a hospital, it's kind of just assume they're going to do whatever they can to keep you alive.
That's what I'm like. I'm working under that pretense.
You can refuse resuscitation. You can refuse to have stuff done to you if you write it down.
You write it down?
A DNR, right?
No, advanced directive. It's essentially a plan for if you end up in certain situations.
So did he have one of those that says, "Please do not break my limbs.
No.
Please don't break my limbs."
No, and that's why the family was able to decide something like that for him. But if he had in a advanced directive, no, just kill me.
Yeah, then that's fine, I guess.
Again, like if it's something that he physically planned out himself, then sure.
Anyway.
But for me, like if I'm in a hospital, I'm just going to assume they're going to do whatever it takes to keep me alive.
He had a box of the lecturer had a box of these packets for making an advanced directive, just in case you ever end up in a coma and your parents want to harvest your fucking semen, or your girlfriend wants to have sex with your comatose body. If you want those things, you can write them here. He had a box of them at the front of the room, and I was like, I'll take 3 because this will be a fun thing on the podcast. Yeah. So here's y'all's too.
Am I going to write out my fucking...
I mean, we're not going to fill out the whole thing because some stuff is really private. It's like, I don't know. I just thought we flip through it if there's anything you guys wanted to talk about.
Yeah, let me see in here. Oh my God.
But yeah, it's definitely something you should probably fill out and keep in your glove box.
Yeah.
If I didn't
After what I just told you.
If I didn't get this from a doctor, is it still valid?
Okay. The cool thing about an advanced directive is that it doesn't have to be notarized. To be legally,
as long as they have one.
No. To be legally recognized as their advanced directive, all it needs is 2 witnesses. Dude.
And it's recorded.
We can be each other's witnesses.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was like, dude, this is literally perfect. And it's recorded. You're right.
For legal reasons, this is all right.
What the hell?
But yeah, like the witnesses have to have a place to sign in here too. 2 witnesses. and that makes it legally upheld.
Autopsy.
I do. I
You
mean,
can deny an autopsy.
nah. There's probably so much shit in my body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll get an autopsy. Fuck it.
Figure that shit. I'll be like, oh damn, this is where you went wrong.
So wait, what if on my license I said I'm an organ donor, and then on here I signed like not to donate my organs?
That's such a bitch move, bro. Imagine like Timmy needs a new liver, and you're like,
Yeah, because I'm an organ donor. I'm just curious because it gives me the option on here to deny donating my organs.
this probably supersede the first one. So
I would assume so.
You know, I was thinking of actually taking myself off the organ donation.
Yeah, they might not. They might
Is there
just let
reason
your
why?
ass
They
might
die,
not save
brother.
you.
They might, yeah.
Especially if you're a minority.
They
So
literally just
you
started the whole
specifically-
brain dead movement.
Yeah, you
They want
specifically.
his liver.
You specifically, I would not recommend becoming an organ
They don't
donor.
like niggas.
It's a thing, and there's a direct correlation between organ donation harvesting and being a minority.
Woo,
Like-
baby,
like-
they want my body back.
It's like a thing that's going around slowly, but people are like I've heard my colleagues talk
They
about it, where
harvesting
they're like,
niggas.
yeah,
just got
there's
better organs?
EMTs and
What did you say that like you were trying to invent? Well, you said
I'm just I said they just have better organs.
no,
So
they have certain racial biases and they will not help.
a
certain
white life
people
is
if-
better than a black one, so they'll try.
And if the black one's an organ donor, you might as well kill them.
damn, Darren, I didn't know you thought that way.
I mean, that's how they
That's
think.
just what the data says, John.
Allegedly, I'm not accusing my
that's what the
fellow
data
EMT
may or
friends
may
or
not
anything
say.
like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's something that I've heard more than once. So,
And no, I could understand.
I don't
There's
know,
some
something scary.
precedent.
I
There's some
believe it
precedent
exists.
to
I'm not
that. Yeah.
surprised.
which is sad.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's like I wanted to donate my organs in the case that like I'm not revivable. But I mean, like if I am, but it just fucks me over. It's like I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we heard that story about them fucking using organ donation shit for just like military weapons practicing. So
Oh yeah, I did tell that
Yes!
story.
Yes, dude.
fucking
Imagine
shooting
me
machine guns
thinking.
at it.
Imagine
Well,
thinking my
he was an organ. He
son's-
was. I don't think he was an organ donor. He donated his body to science. That's what it was.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then
right.
so-
So
Science
for,
just gave
for
to
those
the
of you who have not
military.
seen that podcast episode, I had a colleague at my school whose boyfriend was in the army, I think it was, and his job was to clean up the remains of dead bodies that were blown up with explosives, and those dead bodies came from people who donated their body.
That's a
That's
cool
just
science
crazy.
experiment, though. That's hype as fuck.
It's literally just like the Japanese Unit 731, but with dead bodies, which I mean is like better, but like still kind of fuck. Like you can like
Yeah.
you're like I
But,
want to donate my body because maybe they'll like give me cancer, and then they'll find a cure to cancer with my body, and it's like no, we're just
No,
gonna
we just
test this
figured
new
out that-
I'm
explosive.
just kind of curious
This
why
new grenade is better than the
why
old
do it
one.
have to be people?
Because you're
They could have
killing.
used like a fucking like goat or something.
No,
No,
you
it can't be that different.
No, you want to see what it looks like on a human body. I would say, and also like the like.
How different could a goat be from a human?
Size,
Yes, if you
Boy,
blow up the
organ
goat, the
distribution.
human also blows up according to this other test.
Yeah,
report.
like
I mean, it's more
it's
like,
not like that shit has blast resistance.
It's like edging a war
this
crime.
flamethrower
It's
charged
like
the skin of this
edging
dead
the
body.
war crime. It's like
Interesting.
how far to fucked up can we get to where it's like, okay, yeah, we threw a grenade at that guy, but it's not. Look at that. It's only
whether it's a pig or a dude, it's gonna smell like bacon regardless.
if we send a missile at this dead body, will it blow up? Oh my god, it did. Clean it up. Intern.
Write that down. Write that down.
Use more dynamite next time. I want nothing left. I want an ash circle.
I want to extend my life for as long as possible. I want to allow my natural death to occur by refusing or stopping all treatments except any I choose below.
There's also a section where you can just write in stuff. So I guess you could write to.
Ooh, what my healthcare
Have your
agent can
sperm
do
taken.
after I
Oh,
die.
they said to shoot your body.
I wouldn't mind if they shot my body into space for like a ashes to ashes, dust to dust type of project. That'd be kind of cool.
Like, I want y'all just to record what it looks like when a human body's head explodes in this vacuum of space.
with my dead body.
Yeah, but I want y'all to record me. I want you to see
and then
what it
as
looks
my
like.
body's like making its way
It's
slowly
gonna
but
be a reverse
forever
organ
towards the
donation thing
sun.
where they actually keep you alive secretly.
Yeah.
Well, what if it was
So they
like
can see what happens
Severance,
to a
where
live
like they
body.
just kind of put you in a separate chamber in your mind, and you just got to explore the unknown galaxy, like living inside your body is like a.
No, I just want him to record it and then like reverse it and then put it forward again and then reverse it. And like, I just want him to like have my head explode. You know what I'm saying? I want to do that to me.
Just have
Like
it.
dubstep playing.
Yeah.
Call 911 now. Okay, autopsy. I can get an autopsy. I could do organ donation or body donation. Uncle Sam's very happy about body donation.
You know, if you don't have your primary decision maker written down in an advance directive, it automatically goes to your wife.
Okay,
If you don't
makes
have
sense.
your wife,
Goes
but
to
you have
parents.
kids, it goes to your kids.
Okay, also
If you don't
makes
have either of
sense.
those, it goes to your parents.
Also makes
If
sense.
they're dead, don't have a wife, don't have kids,
Government.
No, they have to find like a person close to you. They just contact a bunch of random fucking people.
What if it's
This is the first person who picks up.
Person who they think would know you the best.
So the homeless guy off the block will always give $1
They would try
to.
they would try and find the closest immediate family. So like an aunt or cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could it just be like your homie?
If you wrote them down in here.
But if you don't, they'd like reach out to people like that.
I don't think so. I think they actually search the family for like your relatives and all that.
Anyone related
Like he
to
talked
you.
about how there are people who have had no advance directive. They've had relatives on the other side of the world, and he's had to call for like decision making choices. And then the translator on the phone is like, "You know what time it is in the world over there?" And he's like, "Sadly, yes, but
Yeah.
this is important."
Yeah.
Ooh, look. Okay, so like
But what was interesting though is if you have 3 kids, do you know who gets priority?
oldest.
That's what I thought. None of them. All 3 of them have to agree.
Oh, I mean, that's cool.
That's fair.
I kind of fuck with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So do they all have to agree, or
Yes.
is it majority rules?
They all have to agree.
So are they at a stalemate? until
You can
there's an agreement?
stonewall them if someone wants to
Yep.
kill dad and 2 don't. It's like, well,
Well, hopefully nobody wants to fucking kill him, but people have like differing opinions on which surgeries they should do, like if it's reasonable or not, like what they want to put their family member through.
yeah.
So
Okay.
Oh, there's witness signatures here.
Also, I
that's what I was saying. We're the witnesses.
Yeah.
I like that they give you like 4 different like basically like you said there's like different tiers to death. So basically as far as I'm
explain
concerned,
it, yeah.
there's 4 different tiers to death. I'll read the statement. I want to allow my natural death to occur by refusing or stopping all treatments except any I choose below. If I cannot get nutrition in my mouth, basically saying if I can't
Starve
eat
you.
food, kill me. If I cannot drink fluids by my mouth, if I can't drink water, kill me. If I need assistance to breathe, if I can't breathe properly, kill me. If my heart or pulses, if my battery turned off, do not reset me. So I kind of basically like kind of 4 different tiers of death. It's like,
I
well,
think needing a tube to drink water or something is not that uncommon.
No, it's not.
Saying kill me if I need a tube to drink water feels kind of
No, I work
extreme.
or my clinical rotations this semester are on a cardiac unit, and a lot of the people there have what's called sorry, words leaving me. Basically, they can't swallow. It's going down their windpipe instead. So they do endoscopies like down the esophagus, and they look at this organ called the epiglottis, which separates the esophagus and the trachea, and they have like food dye. They put in different variations of food like applesauce, milk, water, solid like crackers. They basically see like what you can swallow, what you can't.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are people who they're not on mechanical ventilation, not on any cardiac, like it's literally just a feeding tube down their throat, and they just like stay awake throughout the day, and they're just like, it goes up the nose and it goes down.
That's
ew.
crazy.
Yeah, and just
This is kind of a random
But yeah, that's not
question.
like imagine if you put no, I don't want that, but like you're still meeting all the other criteria of like I can breathe, but because you signed that, they're like, I mean, we have to kill you now.
That's what I was gonna ask. So I was gonna say, so if you are like conscious, right, but you're like speaking nonsense and shit, do you still get to make your own decisions?
No.
So if
Like
you're,
a psychiatrist can come in and actually deem you incompetent,
so if you sign something
and,
like
and,
this,
and a judge has to approve it.
So if you sign something like this, and you start saying, "No, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die," which one do they follow? If they've already decided that you are like not there.
I think legally speaking, or ethically speaking, that do be like, okay,
They
if,
follow this.
they'd be
They
like,
would. So even if you're saying "Don't kill me," they still kill you. That's crazy.
ooh,
Damn.
that's fun.
Well, it actually might come down to
the
the
ethics
person.
guy might be.
No, it comes down to the person you appoint as your primary.
That would make
Provider.
sense. That would actually make sense.
But that's in this document, which is why I was saying that.
Yo, healthcare is scary, bro. I couldn't do all
Damn,
this.
CPR kind of sucks.
Yeah.
82 out of 100 people treated with CPR will just fucking plank.
That's a pretty good rate. Or wait. Oh.
82%.
Yeah, 82 out of
Oh.
100 will plank. Only 18 will survive.
98 out of 100.
If you have a critical illness when you get hit with CPR, it is a 90. You have a 2% chance of living that fucker.
Yeah.
90%. Oh, well, that makes sense for my dad. The 90% with the kidney disease, heart. That makes sense.
That's crazy.
And then, yeah.
That's why
if
we
you're
have good
se-
Samaritan laws. That's why we have good Samaritan laws.
Yeah.
I'm a good Samaritan.
But those only apply to people, not professionals.
What if you're a medical professional? You're just like walking down the street though.
Then I think you are protected by good Samaritan laws.
Also, another thing, back to the whole coma
Because
thing.
it's not like business transaction.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not a business. Like not to say that healthcare.
It's
is
not
like
your job to take care of that.
exactly.
person.
Yeah. Like there's no obligation there. When there's an obligation, it becomes legal.
That makes sense.
I'm a little not like this is not like a gotcha moment, but more of like just introspective. Like the language that they use in here is interesting because we're talking about like being brain dead, what considers you dead and stuff. One of the first things it said, I want to extend my life for as long as possible. So that means even if you're meeting those conditions to where like you are brain dead, they even write it down as in like, no, you're alive. You want to extend your life. It's not like saying extend my condition, not
really alive.
extend my circumstances. Like, no, this is my life.
Well, I think you're talking about a vegetative state and not brain death.
And that's
So if everyone signed this, you're saying we should drag everyone out for 4 years and then take their eggs.
Not if they're brain dead.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Vegetative state, it's like, yeah, doesn't change too much for me, but
Yeah.
there's a stronger argument because they can come back.
I don't care if that
You can't come
14-year-old
back from
signed
brain
that
death,
document or
so.
not.
we need that hospital bed, buddy.
Yeah. It's like the fucking the SpongeBob scene where they push that
I
motherfucker
love
out the
that scene
hospital.
so much. I
Does he have
love
insurance?
that.
No. Nurse!
You can't leave patients in the hallway. We're trying to run a business here. Yes. Administrator
doctor.
blossoms. And then they put him out in the driveway and he goes down the hill.
Classic SpongeBob is so good.
That was a really good gag. I love that gag. I watch it like all the time.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm gonna fill this shit out later though. That's crazy.
Go for it. Yeah, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's all I had today.
I don't know. Learning about the legal ways to live and die was really cool. You learn, it's always something new here. And goddamn, that is actually kind of terrifying that this dude fucked his wife. Oh, because like I can't get over the fact that he tried so that was
Dude,
God's
one nut ruined
toughest
his life.
dude. That was like the toughest battle to God's straw. He held out for 8 years.
That was the nuts
And then
end all
it was
nuts,
probably
dude.
like the fucking Valentine's Day. He was just like maybe just one.
Lit a candle, had sex.
But the fact
Or
that
maybe
he
he's been doing it for all 8 years. This is the first time he didn't wear a condom.
that
Exactly,
was also
yeah.
something I was
That
like
was-
maybe
yeah.
that was yeah.
That was what happened?
He admitted to that.
So he's been doing it for 8 years?
Yep.
But this time he just got cocky.
Like I said, like she got pregnant on accident.
Well,
This is a dumbass person.
everything that happens to her an accident to her. So I mean, I don't know, but like,
So he was just a dumbass.
yeah, I mean that's one word to call him. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he did admit to doing it multiple times.
So yeah, he's just
I mean,
dumb.
according to him, he just thought it was normal.
Exactly. He's like, my wife wanted me to do this.
I guess he's been doing it for years, and no one just thought to ask, like, "Hey, are you fucking your wife?"
No.
Yeah, she likes it. It gives me the same vibes.
Like I'm saying, like he was only caught when the caregiver saw that she was pregnant.
yeah.
So not like when you see like the first bump, like 3 months in.
Yeah, probably after that.
Damn.
He was the same vibe as like Chris Chan and like his mom type thing. I don't know. Obviously, it's his wife. It's a little different, but
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Like you shouldn't have done that. Probably.
If you write in here, my girlfriend can fuck me while I'm unconscious, like,
they kind of have to let that slide.
is that upheld in a? I don't know.
I
You
think
kind of have to let that slide though. You kind of gotta.
I feel like
kinda
the
gotta let-
hospital staff would have something to say.
I mean,
But
they
it
say
might-
whatever
it
they
might-
want, but nigga, it's in writing.
It might actually be upheld in court.
It's in writing though.
That's crazy.
It's in writing
Yeah.
though. I said
Because
my,
obviously everybody in that building would be opposed to it, and then you would have to go to court for, and the court would absolutely uphold it.
like
I mean,
I
guys,
gave her
you can just
permission
put up
to
a
break
curtain,
my
it's
pelvis.
fine.
Yeah.
We do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave her.
Like if you request privacy, we put up a curtain
Yeah.
or close the room door.
yeah.
But it has to be recorded too. Like you want to put this shit up on the hub.
I can't record you.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying
Yeah.
like if she
my girl-
wants,
Make a
Staff
movie.
cannot record or take pictures even if you request it. Technically.
even if it's in here.
Ooh,
That's what I'm
we're
saying.
making a movie,
I want
baby.
really funny photos to be taken of me specifically by a staff member.
I want you to bend me over and take the picture of behind, and also do crazy things and all that stuff.
Like Weekend and Bernie's my body type shit.
In parentheses, I have a fetish for hospital content.
It's my dying wish to be uploaded on the hub, please.
Immortalized forever.
I want you to amputate all my limbs first, just to make sure I get on like the nugget category.
Oh my God, please stop talking.
Nugget cat, what the fuck?
Isn't that what it's called?
They don't have a category.
No, it's like when you're amputated, but like every single limb.
Oh yeah, nugget porn.
Nugget porn.
I think it
It
is.
is
What
nugget
the
porn.
fuck?
It is.
I
nugget.
forget who told me that.
Why is a person shaped like that also shaped like a chicken nugget though?
Because everything's so
Like, you can
meaty
draw
in
the
the
outline.
center. It's like
That's
they do
why
look
it's
like,
called nugget porn. I don't
Oh my
know.
God.
it's like a McDonald's chicken nugget. They got that.
It's a freaky ass chicken nugget. I don't know.
I don't even know why you want to fuck.
I can't
that.
wait to finally see that at some point in my career, and then turn to my colleague and be like, "Dude, it's a nugget."
Because I can just see your colleague be like,
that's gonna be the funniest joke of all time in the hospital.
The dude's gonna overhear you and like fucking like he's gonna do this shit. He's just gonna have like a little
"Why
nub.
I oughta."
Fuck you.
Do amputated people try to like flip people off and just go, oh,
Nigga, the fuck they gonna do?
that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh,
Just flick you off with the tongue.
oh man.
I was like throwing raspberries and shit. Why they call it throwing a raspberry? That don't even make no goddamn sense. Yeah, fuck it. They know
Maybe
what-
their tongue is the color of a raspberry.
it's not, I don't know. That doesn't.
How long do you think it would take to get used to like missing a limb?
Don't you still have ghost pain? Wouldn't you just have a ghost
Phantom
body?
pain, but it's not gonna. I mean, can it?
You have a
does it
ghost
persist?
body. All four of your limbs
I
are gone.
I know, like phantom pain exists, but I don't know if it's chronic. Like I
I'm
don't know
pretty
if
sure
you
it's
live with it.
chronic.
I think some people probably do. I'm sure.
Let's try our cases of people having it chronically. We would suck.
Yeah, like if you're a war, like you're a war amputee, you're gonna know that stump's always there. You're never gonna forget. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Usually phantom pain is something we learned about post-op, but like I wonder if that's people have chronic phantom pain.
I feel like surely some people
Because
do.
that's classified as nerve pain, and there are medications for that. So probably it's treatable, but
Is
still,
it
it's
nerve
crazy
pain?
that it's nerve pain.
I thought it's like a psychological thing.
It's nerve pain.
Huh.
no, yeah, it makes sense that it's
You still
nerve
feel
pain.
the pain, so it's the nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
but
that
it's not like actual pathophysiological manifestation. It's just nerve pain. Like you know,
The ends are still like, where is it? Where the fuck is this arm? Where the fuck am I? Ah. Okay, that kind of makes sense though. Cause like, dude, what would you want to live if you had all four? Like, I feel like that point, yeah, just kill me. If I ain't got no limbs,
write that in your advanced directive.
if I am limbless, pack me up.
But you could have 4 prosthetics.
Yo, if I'm like a cyborg, okay,
can literally be cyborg.
I'll say, if not cyborg, do not resuscitate. But if technology is available, give me
Sign
that
me
shit.
up.
Yeah. Dude, I can have like a fucking repulsor blast in my fucking hand or some shit.
So you could be like RoboCop. Like you get in like one bad accident and you just wake up a robot. That's just
I wouldn't want to be like Adam Smash.
Also, by the way, that wouldn't work because in the United States, it's illegal to euthanize people.
let's go to Sweden.
Yeah, Canada. Have you tried dying?
Can't you put that on here? Like just ship me to Sweden so I can die?
I don't know if they could. They would pay. I don't know if you could make a motherfucker.
Well, that's
pay.
not even a request for the hospital. That's a
Yeah, I
request
was
for,
like,
the
I ain't doing all
family.
that shit. What the fuck you
guess.
mean?
But I guess you would write it in here so they have to follow it.
But I
Yeah.
do like, oh, not like, but I do like understand, or like I'm more aware that we are kind of getting to the point where like we are kind of like getting less adverse to the ideas of assisted suicide.
Right? 'Cause I used to be so opposed to that.
In Futurama, it was always like, it was like a gag, like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, suicide, but you just go kill yourself and it's like a little 25-cent thing to end your life. But it's like, no, there's actual like oxygen deprivation chambers and shit where like you can just sit there in a little box for like 5 minutes and die and just take a nap forever. And like it's just like people with terminal illnesses do that. People who are like, I don't know if they let suicidal people do it, but I know they do it for people who are like terminally ill and they don't want to fucking, be drugged out of their minds their last few months or whatever. But I think by and large in the next 50 years, we might get to the point where it's like, I mean, like the same thing with how incest was like looked down upon. But it's like, yeah, we don't want you to kill yourself, but like,
I think incest is still looked down upon.
No, I'm saying, how like it was, they weren't going
Like
to
in
like,
my day, it wasn't.
you know what I mean? But like,
I
how,
think you're gonna have an incest booth or some shit.
no, not an incest booth, but like, you know what I mean? Like the social optics of it, of like how it's viewed. Back then, yeah, I was like, yeah, don't fuck your kids and don't fuck your wife, or like don't fuck your family. But it was like, I mean, we're not gonna like beat you up or anything. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna like force you to not kill yourself, but it's like we would prefer if you lived. But I mean, it is kind of your choice at the end of the day, type shit. Which is kind of how some countries see it, at least how Canada and like some Scandinavian countries see it. It's like, well, I mean, I can't force you to live.
I used to be like so opposed to the idea of like euthanization, but then like we talk about it more like throughout my program, just like, is it right? Is it wrong? It's like it always comes like every single class resume it comes up, and like it like definitely changed my mind when like I was put like they put this into perspective. It's like somebody has terminal cancer, they're going to die within 6 months. Why can't they take their run at the 5th month and die? Like on their own terms, you know what I mean? Like they just overdose themselves. But it's, not painful like a Tylenol overdose. It, literally kills your liver and it's super fucking painful to die from a Tylenol overdose. But like, they give you just enough
pain meds,
like Percocet, to kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just
peacefully.
take it. Yeah.
It's like the point that convinced me was, why do we euthanize our dogs but not our mothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want your pet going through that pain, but you'd rather put a person through the pain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it should only be at the terminal. That's how I feel about it.
Same. I don't think somebody should do it because they're depressed. That requires like a psychological intervention.
Mm-hmm.
But like like I said, if they're terminal and like it's not
even if it's like a high likelihood, they have to be like,
if they agree to it, if it's in their advance directive, whatever the fuck, if it's like going to put them out in a more peaceful way than how they're going to go out, then I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, shitting and pissing blood, throwing up everywhere.
And I think it should be like organ donation, where it's up to a committee to decide.
To decide if you have the right to die? Yeah. Might as well just kill myself then if you're going to like stall on me.
Now it's possible. And it's not like, I don't know, you can't make the argument that they're crazy, because there's going to be a group of people that argue on your behalf, or they say, no, this person's clearly out of their mind. We should, I don't know.
I have terminal cancer. I'm going to die in 3 months. What the fuck? My mind, what do you mean out of my mind? I'm probably more...
Well, like I'm saying, like
brain cancer.
Based off of what do you call it? What do you call it when something happens in the past, so you use that as justification?
You can't use my Twitter group text as like justification.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's a legal word. Courts use it all the time.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Can you describe the context of what you're trying to use the word in?
Like the court rules in favor of this because in the past they ruled in favor of the same thing.
Oh, like a Roe v. Wade thing? Like
precedent,
yeah.
Because, the precedent would be, we do this for terminal patients, give it to them. It passed with flying colors.
Okay.
But if it's clearly somebody who's just depressed, they'd be like, no, I mean, talk about it. No, we don't approve this, so they don't get to kill themselves. Or they don't get to be put down.
Okay.
It makes sense to me. If you're going to handle organ donation like that, I don't see why euthanasia could be different.
I think there would still be a loophole where people like attempt to bring themselves to the point of just being like on death's door just so they would put them down for themselves.
I mean, at that point...
oh, yeah, like drinking enough bleach to fucking melt your insides and you just want to die because you're miserable now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, well, fuck it. You know? Mm.
Yeah.
I guess that's why you have a committee argue over it. Experts.
It's people whose job it is just to fucking...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That
like,
shit all day.
Like, I'm not going to sound... Like, I think everyone has a right to live, but I don't know if I'm necessarily okay with forcing people to live. I don't know.
Do you think you have a right to die?
Well, we already force people to live.
We do.
Yeah, no one asks to be born.
Exactly. Yeah, but no. I mean, even in the cases of like terminal cancer, you can't put some. You can't. It's like I say, it's not legal in the United States to euthanize them. You can't.
Only in the United States, though. Well, no, not only in the United States. You know what I mean? But like, there's some countries allow, some don't. Yeah.
It's actually the outlier to allow people to do that, but I think it's the more progressive take.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I don't know. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like. I don't know. I get like I'm really trying to like not be neutral, but try to be as like
I think the committee is the neutral
open-minded.
option. You're like leaving it up to experts. Like
I'm not really like that opposed to it, to be honest.
Well, having a committee decide?
Just in general, like having it as an option available to you. I mean, I believe in giving people resources to like get all the help they need or whatever, but I don't know. I don't believe in forcing someone to do anything either. You know what I mean?
I guess that's where I kind of get into it. It's just more of like, I don't know. At this point in time, it's like, can you really make someone like live? Because I mean, like, if I'm gonna kill myself, I'm gonna kill myself. You know, like not to be mean, but like, you know what I mean. But like,
not to be mean.
Not to be mean as in like to downplay mental health. So like if anyone was listening who's going through like, no, I don't want you to die. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, generally speaking.
Where are you going with
Like,
this?
hold on, let me get it out. Let me get it out, god damn it. But like, there's a certain level of like autonomy that I'm fiercely protective of. And like, I think one of the most autonomous things is the decision about your life. And so it's like, I don't know if I'm really about to take that away from somebody just to say, hey, you're still here. Welcome. You got to pay your taxes like everyone else now, fucker. You know what I mean?
So someone's just like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more.
I'm gonna definitely tell you reasons why you should stay. But like, you know what I mean? It's not like I can't change your mind. I can only tell you why I think you should.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's where I kind of stand. I was like, I don't know if I'm really, you know, the right party to tell you no, you shouldn't. It's more of like, well, I think you shouldn't, but I can't really, you know.
So do you think the police should stop someone from doing it?
I think that's kind of their fucking job.
So you think it should be illegal then?
Only because it's like, I'm pretty sure like, is suicide illegal? I mean,
Yes.
Yes. Yes. They have to. You're breaking the law, though. They have to do the job.
But that's what we're saying is whether or not it should be illegal.
Ooh, I just think it's weird to like.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah.
It's
It's like, damn.
This guy's name, Christopher Dunch. He was a neurosurgeon who was found in a murder trial for putting one of his terminal patients under, and then he admitted to doing it 33 other times.
So he's like assisted suicide.
They gave him the nickname Dr. Death.
I remember that guy, but he was an older doctor,
They had
anyways,
to
right?
redo the court proceeding or the actual trial several times because he would explain his situation to the jury, and the jury would also always go, "We don't believe what he did is wrong, even though it's illegal." So they would rule in favor of him. So they redid it until they got a jury that found him guilty, and they upheld the death sentence in 2018.
wow.
Yeah,
That's really petty.
that's fucked up.
That's really petty.
How are they allowed to do that?
I don't know. That's crazy. Because a jury is supposed to eliminate bias.
Yeah.
But they found a jury
They
that
kept finding they looked for the bias. I mean, yeah, that's just obviously you could tell that was kind of rigged against them. I mean, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, it's fucked up, but look, we let it happen. No one fucking defended him. No one said, hey, you guys can't just keep shuffling around people till you get the verdict you want. They all let this man die.
Oh, wait, am I looking up the wrong guy?
No, I remember that case. I know what you're talking about.
The story saying he maimed and killed 30 people. Okay, what the fuck?
Did he
There was a guy, though, named Dr. Death who
just assisted
did that.
suicide
And
people,
then
yeah.
there were multiple trials where the jury was like, what he did is not wrong. I'm sorry. It wasn't that guy
Did
who
they
murdered
still
30
put
fucking
him
people.
to death?
I don't know. This guy was. Maybe he
I
was
was
an
gonna
actual
say,
fucking
it's
murderer.
Yeah, if you're
really
harming
ironic.
people, yeah.
And maybe there's
I was
multiple
saying
people with the nickname Dr. Death. Hold on.
So it'd be really ironic in that scenario if you're putting him to death after he did that. I don't know.
33 times to people who wanted to die.
Yeah.
I mean, but from kind of like the guy who did it was also fairly old, so I mean, it probably really didn't matter much to him. That's probably just like, hey, I mean, I get it.
For like 20 years before they actually do it, so I don't know. But
honestly though, why is death row so long? It's like, why would you like give him some time? No, like, you know, like,
I mean,
they can't leave. There are like, I don't know if that's even any better just to let them live for 20 years.
would
Like,
you
all right.
rather it be like, I don't know, 1 or 2 years and then you're actually innocent?
I'll say like 5 to 10.
You know, a lot of death row inmates were like innocent, right?
A lot, or like, is that like a no? I've
It's
heard
a
that being
significant
talked.
number. I think it's like at least 10%.
At least 10%.
Yeah,
How many death? Like, do you have your phone on you? Oh wait, on you. Oh wait,
I'm recording.
like yeah.
It's a significant number. Like it's not.
I'm
it's
really
not the
curious.
majority, but it's still a significant number.
Enough to where like you would argue that you shouldn't have the death penalty to save those potential people, or is it like okay, there's
to the
enough
point. To the point where it should at least be long enough for them to do proper like
investigation on it?
double like fact checking and. All
But
that
that's the
stuff.
thing that
to
once
give them enough time to like wait on evidence to pop up. and
once
all
you're
that
already
stuff,
in there,
too.
9 times out of 10 that your case goes cold. That's why I'm like I don't even know if that's even like I don't want to say like it's not fair to them. But it's like it's almost like I mean
9 times out of 10, but there's that 10% that I was talking about. So I mean, you know what I mean?
Flex aside, I mean there's in the history.
And that's just the ones that they know were innocent because they got proven too. There's other ones that I mean,
Either you took the fall for somebody or
you know, like statistically speaking, I mean, it's not.
0, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there would be at least like if 10%,
A couple wrongfully-
if 10% are no, then it's at least like 15 to 20.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Fuck that other guy, Dunch.
The
that guy was an
murderer.
actual murderer.
Yeah,
I'm
douchebag.
looking for another Dr. Death. This was Dr. Jack Kevorkian. This is the actual guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm reading
Was
this.
he
now.
old? He was a real old guy, pretty sure.
He was old.
Yeah.
He died of
Yeah,
on his
exactly.
own.
He was really old
He wasn't
anyways.
given the death penalty. This actually has a happy ending. He euthanized a patient, was arrested, explained it to the jury. 3 different juries.
Yeah.
All of them said what he did was not wrong. We don't believe. The 4th jury comes along. They also say what he did was not wrong. And this is the thing in court. If a 4th jury states somebody as not guilty, even if they broke the law, then it's called jurors invincibility, some shit. Jurors I don't know. Essentially the law is null and void. The jurors rule in favor of him. He
Yeah.
gets
They
away
chose the
scot-free.
people over the ruling, which makes
Yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do something that's so like,
If you killed Hitler and then
And
he's like
somehow-
murder is bad, and you got 4 trials, like, yeah, he killed Hitler. That was like, yeah, he's fine. That's cool. Yeah, he's fine. That's cool. You got away with murder, and you will never be charged for it because like 16 different people are like, yeah, that's, you know.
you just got to be really good at arguing.
You also have to kind of
It's a
be
lawyer's
right
job.
Yeah.
because you have to be socially right. You know what I mean? Because you also have to be right in those
It's got
people's
to
eyes.
be a decent enough crime. You know what I mean? It's got to be.
Yeah,
something-
decent crime is like assisted suiciding a terminally ill person. Like, yeah, I don't really see an argument for why you would want that person to suffer. So therefore, I'm like, you're not really that guilty. But like, I don't know, getting your comatose wife pregnant or stealing your son's sperm, you're gonna have to convince me on
weird.
that one. Yeah,
Little
gonna
weird.
have to convince me on that one.
I'll need a lot
But
of
she would have
convincing.
But she would have wanted it though. My dick was huge. Back in the day, she called me third leg Ed. Like.
God damn.
And the only reason he got caught because he fucked up. But like, why were you hitting it? Like, oh my!
Like, dude, I've been doing this for 8 years.
He probably thought she couldn't get pregnant. I'm gonna be so real with you. That's probably what he thought. He probably did it with the condom because he was so scared. And then like the 8th year, he's like, this shit don't work anyways.
Surely it's a safe day.
And then he ended up killing her.
And going to jail.
Yeah. It's like, what
And
the
he's just known as the guy who did that.
Dude, imagine having a cell. He's like, what are you in for? And you tell them just like, dude, get the fuck out of here, you weirdo. I don't even want to butt fuck you in the shower anymore. You're just weird.
Yeah.
You've ruined my appetite.
Keep your gruel. Yeah, no, that's awful.
Yeah.
Some people are just
A little freaky.
weird.
Freaky ass
Very
niggas.
weird. I don't know.
Freaky.
Some
they're-
people just have some very,
Weird
very
or conditioned?
conditioned.
No way you were conditioned to fuck unconscious people.
Who conditioned you to fuck
Unless
your...
the sex was
going back to
so
the sibling-
bad.
I'm going back to the sibling thing where it's like, oh, is this actually weird or are they conditioned? It was like my second or third.
Yeah, I know what you're
Okay.
saying, but I'm just like, I don't know, bro.
That was your words, bro. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just a question. I don't believe in it.
I don't know. I don't think you're conditioned to think fucking unconscious people is wrong. I think knowing the fact that the other person just didn't have a say in the matter is just like, would I want that?
What if they did preemptively?
Babe, knock me out, then fuck me. I don't think that's ever
If
really.
I am ever knocked out, fuck me.
I'm ever.
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 And the dick's gonna resuscitate them. What kind of pseudoscience bullshit is
Yeah,
this?
like a baseball game and a fucking baseball flies and knocks you out.
and
in
you
front
just
of a fucking crowd.
unzipping
Oh,
and
shit, I have to
undressing.
do it now.
The fucking kiss cam's like, get a load of this guy.
Let me be clear. I do not agree with any of this.
Nah, I still think it's wrong to fuck unconscious people. There's no, like, just don't do it.
I think we've found a fairly clear agreement on most of these.
Yeah.
The ones that are weird are pretty weird. The other ones are like, it's very normal.
Me and him still agreed that it's not weird to take his sperm.
In certain cases, I
I
could,
mean,
yeah.
it's weird, but it's like we see.
Yeah, it is weird.
We see.
It's
see how
better than
like
trying to
endearing.
take the eggs. Because, like, that, she...
Why is the sperm any better than the eggs?
He did.
I don't think it's a different
He
scenario.
expressed wanting to have kids. That was a 14-year-old
How
kid.
do
You don't
you
know what the
know?
fuck she wanted.
Okay.
And that's
assuming it's the exact same
parents are
scenario
right.
where it's like, oh, well, she always wanted to have kids.
In that case, yeah, it's 50-50, that's even. But I'm saying, like, for one is like, say I want kids, the other one's just like, yeah, you literally are just like playing legal.
I still think it's weird, but I think it's cute.
It's cute.
It's cute. Like, they want a piece of him still in the world after letting him go.
It's cute.
It's cute.
To harvest his...
I just explained why. Let me say it again.
It's neat.
Cute.
Yes.
To want to harvest his sexual reproduction cells.
For having him still in the world with them in the form of their grandchild.
That's not him.
Their grandchild.
It's a grandchild.
Yeah, adopt. Again, you can have a kid. Why does it have to be his?
I don't know.
It's your child. You made it.
You sterile now? Like, why can't you have another kid?
Well, they want
I don't know how old they were.
Why do they want it to be his kid?
Oh, they want their son to live on. It's their belief. I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying I think it's cute.
If I'm gonna don't take this the wrong way. Darren, if you found out your brother was in a coma and your parents wanted to do that to your brother, how would you react to that?
Okay, he's never stated he's wanted kids, so obviously no. If he has, then I'm like...
Okay, let's say you're in a coma and your brother sees them do that to you.
Well, Darren always said he wanted to be a father.
Exactly. Would you not think that's weird?
Like I said, I know it's weird, but I think it's cute.
You think it's cute?
They're not mutually exclusive terms.
It kind of is. I don't know.
Something weird and cute.
Like what?
Like a hippo, like a baby hippo.
Your mom? Yeah, a hippo. Platypus.
Well, platypus, yeah, those are weird and
cute.
cute. Yeah, those are weird and cute
I don't
creatures.
know. It's not really that
They
cute.
make
It's
no
kinda
sense.
Blobfish plushies.
Ugly. Those are ugly.
Weird and
Like the
cute.
plushies, though?
Yeah, they're weird and cute.
Yeah,
Weird
they're
and
ugly.
cute.
I don't know. You're talking about a baby, like someone's weird, unconscious.
The baby's fine. It's not unconscious.
Yeah, I know, but they're born from someone who's like weird and unconscious.
Well, their dad's dead.
Didn't consent to it. I don't know.
He consented.
Yeah,
Said he wanted to be
his
a
parents
father.
say he always wanted
Well,
to
they
have
didn't
you.
have the form. They didn't have the form. They didn't consent to shit.
Imagine Josh is like, it didn't happen.
I don't know. I'm not saying I like agree with it. I just think it's cute.
I can almost see like a scenario where
Well,
like
okay.
raising their grandchild. It's like he wanted to have you, so
I
we're
wouldn't
glad
do
you're
it
here.
personally. I wouldn't agree to it personally. But if somebody else did it,
I wouldn't be mad at them.
I know. I'd be like, that's cute.
Yeah, I'll be at peace
It's weird.
with it.
It's weird, but cute.
So if your brother wanted to do it, you think it's cute?
Sure.
You think it's cute?
Yeah.
I'd
be an uncle.
Yeah, I would still take care of the kid. I don't want to be like, ugh, you weird abomination. I'd be like, oh, hello, my nephew. What's
A little
poppin'?
creation of modern medicine.
I'd probably just like, I don't know. I would just be like, oh, okay.
You would just disassociate yourself from your fucking nephew?
I'm like, oh, he's here now.
God.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Can't go back.
I think
Can't put him back.
that's the wrong answer.
I'd be like, wow.
You still gotta be there for the kid.
Why do I gotta be there? I didn't ask that.
Fuck this
What the
kid.
fuck? I'm like, dude, mom and dad, why'd you do that?
You don't have to be his parental figure, but be his uncle.
I mean, I guess I give him like $5 at Christmas or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Uncle John,
can we go to Dave and Buster's?
I'd probably feel disgusted by my parents anytime I see him, to be honest.
That's fair, but around the kid?
I mean,
You're gonna take out exactly. You're not gonna take out the kid.
Yeah, but anytime
Yeah.
I see him, I'd be like, dude, like,
You're a freak.
I'd be like, what were my parents
You
thinking
are a
when they
test
made
tube
you?
baby.
I'd be like, oh my god. I'd be like, dude, I'm sorry, my parents should not have made you.
Jeez, man.
Like,
Rough
damn,
for that kid.
if you're gonna like donate someone, just like, why bring them here? Let them go run around and like fucking, I don't know.
Africa?
Yeah, like Africa or like China or some shit. Why they gotta be here?
Ship him to a second world country.
I don't. Fine. I don't know. Fucking like Chicago or something. I don't
That's
know.
even a second world country, third world country.
I don't know. Just like,
Chirac.
just like away from me, bro. I don't know. I don't want him around me.
Unky John, we want to go to Dave and Buster's. You're like, fuck you, dude.
I don't know you.
You only vaguely look like my brother.
Oh, hell no.
That doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. I'd have to be there for that kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't agree with his conception.
Neither did I, but it's still my nephew.
I don't know. I'd be like, hey, it's cool. Like, hey, what's up, man? Bye. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of like, I don't know. He's here now. It's kind of like, it's like, imagine I died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine like some kind of freak thing happened. I died,
Mm-hmm.
and out of my like corpse, a fucking like little homunculus version of me like burst from my stomach.
Hello, what's up? Hello,
Yeah.
what's up? Hello.
So you'd be down the chill with that guy, but not your fucking nephew?
I'm saying it'd be like the same feeling though.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
I thought this was like a total different side tangent.
like would you feel like a moral responsibility to take care of that kid? Like if I died in front of you,
John?
if I died in front of you and like a little homunculus version of me just like got born in front of
It's a
you.
homunculus. It's not a fucking person.
Well, I mean like it just like burst out of my stomach.
Is it a person?
Yeah, it's a person.
Can it reproduce?
I don't know. I didn't test it. What do you mean? I don't know.
You just said it's a person.
What
That's
the fuck does
fine.
that matter?
It's a fucking
Can it
baby, dude. I
reproduce?
don't know.
Oh, it's a baby?
So no, it can't reproduce.
Is it like a? I'm thinking like homunculus. I'm thinking like a fully grown person just popped out of you.
I'm just like imagining like it's just like a baby. It just like burst out of my fucking stomach or some shit when I died.
Like a xenomorph?
I was like imagine I just got like resurrected. Like I got like
I'll
reincarnated.
take care of your reincarnation. That's my little bro.
That'd be a fucking medical mystery right there. That'd be crazy.
Like you just turned into a caterpillar and just went back to like your early stages
There'd be a
of
fucking
life and
ethical
some
debate,
shit.
I think, as a human.
Yeah, I would take care of Mini John. I would have just I would
Dude, I
have
would
fucking
totally like be in his
I'd
life.
raise you black. You wouldn't even know you were white. It'd be so cool.
What?
You see, the crazy thing is, I would be more accepting of that little homunculus than I would like in the brother scenario.
That's what I say. Like, what the fuck?
I would actually be more approving of that little homunculus than I would. Like,
You just witnessed a medical miracle. Of course, you're like, okay, this is real. I gotta
This is
do
divine intervention.
Yeah.
I just think it was some kind of like magic or something. I don't know. And the other scenario is just like it's like some Rick Sanchez shit. It doesn't even feel right.
I took your DNA, Morty, and made you a clone.
Morty, you were illegally brain dead, and I went through and I jerked you off in your sleep. Some shit like that.
6 more seasons, Morty. We now have 6 more seasons.
Holy shit. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I got anything?
Okay, if they had to harvest your semen, would you rather them jerk you off or take it with a needle?
Jerk me off. I'm sorry, whichever nurse has the misfortune of doing that, there's no way to help. There's no way to help. I'm gonna have some dude fucking.
I don't want a needle. I want like a contraption. I want like some Dr.
a pocket
Seuss-ass
pussy doohickey.
Yeah.
Just
To jerk you off?
Yeah. And then
Yeah, like I want some like
almost like a
call it the cum
syringe, like a
snuffler.
turkey baster. They just kind of.
it's like yeah, I just want you to design like a little fleshlight shaped like Marge Simpson's face, you know, like something like that.
I'm gonna need
Just
you
like
to stop. Okay.
And no, I don't have anything else to add to answer your question.
Okay.
No.
I think that was about all I had.
Okay. Well, shout out to today's special friend of the podcast, Cellrays. Yeah, they now have a paid subscription plan where if you want to sell your shit anytime, any place, any price, any date, you go ahead, download their app on Apple Store, Google Play Store, wherever you got apps.
Don't forget the website too.
And it's for those wondering, to make money, you got to spend money, right? They have this new subscription system, which has been working well for them. They've been making money now. Good for them. $10 a month, or if you're making this, if you're like a actual like reseller, you're what do you call those people?
Not scalpers, right? You're thinking of like
Well,
resellers.
it could be a scalper, but I'm thinking of like I don't know. If you're in that criteria, and it's like something you do on the side, it's a $30
like
a
drop
year.
shipping or stuff like that.
Drop shipping, exactly.
Yeah.
It's $30 a year, which equates to about $250 a month. So you save a lot more if you do the yearly one. So yeah, it's something to consider. And they're friends of the show. Check out our episode with the founder, Tyler.
Tyler.
And if you're curious more about the product, check that episode.
Yeah.
But it's a free app. Just gotta make an account and pay. But you know, it's neat. I think they do give you like a free trial where you can try out like a couple transactions.
Okay.
But yeah.
I might just start making multiple emails.
I don't know about that last part, but download the app and try for yourself.
Don't tell them the loophole. Don't tell them how I've been watching Netflix for all these years.
No, I'm not about emails. I'm talking about I don't know about the free trial thing. I don't know if it's on
yeah.
but yeah.
If not,
download
they
the app
will
and try
eventually.
it for yourself.
Yeah. And don't forget to support us too.
Please.
We also do stuff. We make videos and
Cellrace is
podcasts.
cool, but I mean we exist too, guys.
Yeah, we love you guys, and I'm not going to jerk you off in your sleep. I promise.
Also, comment.
Darren might, though.
Actually,
He thinks it's
comment
cute.
if you would
does.
or would you not take care of your homunculus friend. If your best friend just spontaneously died in front of you.
Any of these ethical scenarios, leave your thoughts in the comments.
Would you jerk off your little homunculus in his sleep? That's the real question. Would you impregnate him in his sleep?
No, none of these.
Would you take her eggs, assuming the homunculus can be a girl? Would you take her eggs and do some IVF shit and put it in another person?
Another homunculus, perhaps.
Yeah.
And birth the homunculus out of that homunculus.
Make a whole new subspecies.
Wow, homunculus eggs.
We need more subspecies. I miss the Homo erectus.
Neanderthals are kind of cool. They all kind of died out, though. Got outbred.
I have the most Neanderthal in me.
Damn, I think
I do.
No, it's Asians.
This guy.
Asians have the most Neanderthals.
It's because
in
of
me.
the Mongolians.
Asians. I looked it up a couple weeks ago. It's Asians.
Oh.
Is it because of Mongols or
I think
something
whites
else?
are second.
So you have both.
And this is why, just like the Yakub episode, black people are superior. We're the most enlightened race, but for some reason they all thought we were monkeys. We were the most unlike monkeys, actually. Thank you.
Insert statistics here.
It's so funny that gorillas came from us trying to insert ourselves back into species. Wow. But yeah, we got a whole Yakub episode. You can check that out too. That one's audio only though.
Check out all of our episodes while you're at it.
We just had the 1 year anniversary and everything too. Yeah.
Still on Twitch, Kaijin_OW. I'm on PC. I don't know if I mentioned that last time. So if you want to watch me climb back to GM, maybe Celestial, and play against some of your favorite streamers like Super Gomez, Super TF, and all those other crazy Marvel rival streamers, check me out.
If you want to see them beat his ass in comp, then check him out.
Nah, I'd win. I diff all day.
All right, Alfonso.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. They're all 21 too, which is crazy. They're all like my age doing this shit. And they just like
You might be 22, Gramps. You're falling behind.
Nigga, I'll be 22 in July. They're all 21 now.
Sorry, Unk.
Dude, when I hit Unk status with my family, like my
you already
youngest...
are, bro. I hate to break it to you.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm surprised your brother hasn't called you that yet.
Dude, my brother called me a fucking Gramp. He was like, dude, you're not an Unk, you're a Gramp.
Oh my God.
I can hear your brother saying that.
The episode ended, by the way, guys. See ya next week.
Bye.
Go home.